moved on, have become adults and living in the real world, right? And now we got a football team that we're looking for that next person or persons to step up. And the coaching staff is very excited that we may not have just one this year, but we may see that it's just a really balanced attack this year. All right, folks, we're set to go, and here's the kickoff from Evan Steinley, and it's a deep one. He's going to drive him all the way back to the 5-yard line, and at the goal line he picks it up, and they're going to give him a touchback because he was picking that football up in the end zone. So nice kick for Evan. And as I'm looking at the flags, I mean, it's not blowing hard, but what wind there is, it would have been at Evan's back with that kick.
Yeah, a little bit helped there. It was kind of unfortunate for EP there because it was a nice kick. You see this happens all the time in high school where you outkick the coverage, but since he dropped it, he wasn't going to get back to the 20. The fact that the ball rolled back to the end zone is probably a little bonus there for Kewanee and gets to move it out there.
Agreed. All right, our first look at the Panther defense this year. Last week we did do the scrimmage broadcast, and they opened up in a 5-3. Looks like that's about where they're going to be again this year. Kewanee with a couple of backs in the backfield. They're going to hand it off, go off left guard, and met very quickly. Nice job of the Panther defense.
Braden Frank, number 5, was in there really quick. Jordan Crow, I just screwed it up right off the bat. Jordan Crow's going to anchor the team at middle linebacker. He really stepped up a lot last year when Eamon Barron was injured for a decent part of the season. Right tackle on the side for EP is mainstay Derek Nasker. We're going to be calling his name a lot.
Officials gave them a gain of 1 on that play, so it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 21-yard line. Drop the defensive line, move the guys around. Second ball is going to go off right now. A loss of 2 for the Boilermakers, and a big 3rd down. Shotgun formation. Snap, looking to throw the football, is going to wind up coming out here left. He's got a man open, and he's going to be up near the first down marker, but I think he's going to be held short by a yard.
Yeah, that was a nice route. They had 2 guys on the left side, and the inside guy went to the middle and then worked back with the quarterback. A nice throw on the run there. And we were able to rally to the ball there and stop them just short. This is you see how aggressive the coach wants to be right off the bat.
4th and 1 early in the season. You worry a little bit about jumping off sides of a hard count. That's something we'll have to watch for. One thing that I think the Panther coaching staff's been priding themselves on is this has been a pretty well-disciplined team throughout preseason. So we'll have to take a look. All right, underneath center, a couple of backs in the backfield are the Boilermakers. And they're going to hand it off, and they're going to go off left tackle. And nice pursuit early, and I think they're going to stop him short of the first down.
Yeah, that was Braden Frank at the right inside linebacker. He read that perfect and got in there. Wasn't able to wrap up because the running back number 30 for Kewanee's kind of got the bowling ball size to him. But he did knock him back enough that we were able to rally and hold them short. We're going to take over a great field position.
Keegan Winkler also went on that stop, and what a really nice play for the Panther defense. And we're going to get a look at our Panther offense with 9:43 to go here in the first quarter. And like Scott said, great field possession at the Boilermaker 29-yard line to start. And our familiar shotgun formation is where things are going to get kicked off for us. Keegan in the backfield. Tristan Hovey is off to his left in the backfield. We've got a couple of receivers split wide left, a slot to the left as well. A lone receiver out here to the right. Evan Steinley in motion. And Keegan's going to keep this himself, going to go right off of the left guard, and a nice gain there.
Real nice play. Caleb Reamer was playing right tackle, and he led on a pull right there. They did the fake handoff to the middle. Keegan Winkler is going to probably be one of the main running backs this year. He's worked really hard in the offseason. He's got a lot of leg drive on him, and we'll take 8 yards off the rip anytime.
Keegan got right into Caleb Reamer's back pocket right there and just followed him right around, and Caleb was licking his chops at the first guy that he could find. All right, same formation except 3 receivers to the right. And Keegan's going to look to throw the football. Good pressure by the defense. And nice catch, sliding catch by Evan Steinley at the 15.
Right, he rolled out right there. Evan Steinley had easily the first down yardage on the little out route. Steinley's going to be a big wild card for the team this year. He was just a sophomore last year, kind of played a lot of everywhere. He's really going to need to step up and be a big contributor because he has one of the best bodies on the team at 6'3", 220 pounds.
And that's your first Panther first down of the 2025 season. 3 receivers split wide left, Tristan flanking Keegan to the right. They're going to hand the ball to Tristan and met immediately by a blown block off the right side of the offensive line, and he's going to get brought down for a loss.
Yeah, nothing there for Tristan. Tristan will be the main running back out of the backfield for the Panthers. 5'6", 165-pound fullback. Going to bring up second and about 14.
First step backwards for the Panther offense today.
No feet at all on the YouTube, it's saying.
And I'm watching YouTube right now, and I'm seeing it on mine, so I'm wondering. All right, we're going to try jet sweep with Tristan. He avoids the first block and the first tackle and the second tackle. He's going to have a nice gain of about 9 on this play. Going to get down to the 10.
He really did. He had to avoid well, is that a flag or is that okay? That's an orange. There was close to a block in the back for our Panthers there on the left side, but what he did was he maintained the block. If the defender turns around and it continues to block him in the black, that's fine. He started for him face up. I was able to allow Tristan to get out there for about a 10-yard gain, make it a little more manageable. 3rd and 6, we'll call it, which is obviously 4-down territory.
Ball on the left hash, so we got a whole bunch of room to the right side if they want to run over here. We've got 3 receivers split wide right. Got a man in motion, Connor Keegan, and he's going to get the pitch, and that's read well by the Boilermaker defense and no gain on the play.
Yeah, I tried a little inside pitch to Connor Keegan, his first action. He's been on the receiving end of a lot of passes this year. That was his first run. He'll probably be getting a fair amount of carries as well. I didn't quite see if we missed a block on there. I was looking to watch the routes.
We do have a couple of sophomores on the offensive line this year. That was a little bit of a concern coming in, but in talking with Coach Whitebread, he's been very impressed with the sophomore development and how things are going there. All right, we're going to attempt a field goal from 25 yards. And here's the snap. It's a good one. Evans' kick is up, and it has got plenty of length, and it is good. And your Panthers are going to take a 3-0 lead with 6:39 to go here in the first quarter.
That was a real nice kick by Evan. He showed that he had a great leg last year. Had 35, 40-yard distance. Accuracy and just getting the ball down was a little bit of a struggle at times. Nice to see that right off the bat. I don't know how much time he spent working on the kicking on the offseason, but he definitely showed last year that he had the opportunity to be a good kicker, and it's a nice weapon if you can get those points. It's kind of tough. We got the old school uprights here. Some of the fields we go to have NFL-sized goalposts, and it's almost a guess on some of those or more they go over now, but that was right down the middle.
All right, so the Panthers will be getting set to kick off, and we'll get a second look at the defense. And I had a chance to get down on the field a little bit before the game. I got here early and talking with Coach Whitebread and Coach Foster, and we were talking about the kicking game, and that was an area that the coaching staff knew that we needed to improve in this year, because it did cost us dearly in a couple of games last year, and I legitimately I think it did cost us a victory at one point in the season last year.
Yeah,
but
the final playoff game.
Yep, and so we knew we needed to shore that up. They're feeling really good about a game plan that they have going in here. I don't want to give that away a little bit just in case we got somebody from the other side listening in. But they've got a game plan with how they're going to kind of tackle that this year, and I like the wrinkle that they're going to put in. So be looking for that. All right, Evans getting set to kick off for the second time today with 6:39 to go here in the first quarter. Your Panthers up 3-0, and another strong kick. And this one is also going to sail into the end zone untouched, and we'll have our second touchback of the day.
Yeah, that great kick by Evan. He may have to kick a little bit more directional. He's and trying to get it down to the corner a little bit. He's got plenty of boot to get it into the end zone. Nothing wrong with having the team start on the 20 every time. That high school football kickoff returns can happen in a heartbeat. Clark and a couple classmates of our teammates of ours, Clark and Chris, are listening out west, but their feeds are frozen. Mary said her YouTube feed is working. So
it might be Illinois. You guys listening out there, you might just need to move closer. All right, got an injury update for you here in just a minute. There's a little crossbuck action going to go off right tackle, and nice job blocking, and the back did a nice job of waiting for that block to happen. He's going to move forward for a gain of 6.
Yeah, and one thing I was going to say, we don't have any commercials right now, so you guys are just going to have to listen to me and Scott, carry on during timeouts and in between quarters and everything. And, you won't have to listen to me make bad reads on Oorah Semper Fi slots anymore.
We do have a halftime show that we'll play through all of our sponsors. Darren's put that together for us. All right, so second and a short 5, and they're going to try a pitch out to the outside, flag down, and Derek Nosker in the backfield quickly.
Yeah, pretty sure that's going to be on Kewanee. It looked like their receiver was going forward as the ball was being snapped. I'm sure we'll decline that penalty. Great job by Nosker. Was it Nosker on that pursuit?
It was. Yeah, great play by Nosker. He came through the line untouched and met in the backfield shortly after he caught the pitch. And that was, just as you said, Scott, a legal procedure, and that was going to be declined. That's going to be a loss of almost 6 yards on the play back to the original line of scrimmage. And so it'll be third down and 10 from the just inside the 20-yard line. So good play. One injury update that we have, Tristan Hovey during practice this week tweaked a hammy. And so just as a precaution today, they're going to be a little conservative with his play. He's going to play offense. I don't know that he's going to get a lot of defensive action today. So one guy to keep an eye on. Third down, passing down for the Kewanee Boilermakers, and back to passes, and good pursuit, and just going to flail it out there to the line of scrimmage, and great pursuit by the Panther defense.
Yeah, Caleb Reamer was in on that. He about blocks the sun out when he's attacking them. Caleb comes in at 6'4", 280, and put great pressure on him. Looked like Max Milam was in on that coverage, and Connor Keegan.
So that's going to bring up fourth down. That actually resulted in a loss of another yard on that play. So 4th and 11. Would be hard-pressed to think that Kewanee wouldn't try to kick the football away here, but we'll see.
Well, we kind of got the start that we did like last year, against Kewanee. If we can get this convert on 4th down, get them off the field, we can get back and get right back at it.
All right, they are in a formation to kick the football away, and good pressure by Derek. Almost blocked it, but it did get through. Connor Keegan thought about picking that thing up at midfield, but chose the better.
I thought it sounded like it was tipped, but I didn't see the official make any motion for it. Yeah, great field position just off over the 51-yard line.
So a 32-yard punt with no return, and the Panthers will take over just inside their own territory at their own 48-yard line. The other injury that we talked about last week, if you didn't get a chance to listen to the broadcast, Max Milam in the offseason tore his ACL, and he has opted to not have surgery. He's wanting to try to contribute as much as he can to this football team throughout this season. He knows his time will be somewhat limited, and his ability to do some things are certainly going to be limited, but he's going to give everything he can. All right, shotgun formation. Got a couple of receivers split each way. Steinley in motion to the left. And Keegan's going to keep this thing himself. He's looking for an opening, and good job by the Boilermaker pursuit. Just a short gain of 2.
Steinley went in motion and set up next to Max Milam there, and then it was a lead block by Tristan Hovey and Keegan Winkler on the carry. That's going to be a lot of what our offense will be. We'll be able to run some cross bucks out of that. They can pull a lineman and get some other actions.
I did get word from Darren that he stopped the stream and started a new one. If you're frozen right now, maybe try to get out, get back in, and see if that helps you.
Yeah, Clark said he reset his and it's working, and Mary said that's what she had to do after the national anthem. So it seems to be working better.
And Eric, I agree with you. We need a game clock on the screen. Ooh, nice little pitch there to Tristan. He handled it well. But again, good pursuit by the Boilermakers. They're starting to get their feet underneath of them defensively.
Yeah, they really did. Keegan got it out there. That was a nice job by Tristan to gather that and still try and go forward and get some yardage. I've got Caleb Reamer at right tackle, Brecken Sandrock at right guard. Caleb Nosker is the center, and Jordan Crow is the left guard. I don't have a number on the left tackle yet. Is that 60?
I have 55 as the center, which is Brecken, right? Yeah, Brecken should be the center.
Okay,
55. 50 is your left guard. Passing the football, going to look way down the field. He's got a man open, but overthrows him. Steinley had separated himself, but overthrew him by about 3 yards.
Yeah, we had 2 receivers in that route. Gavin Adams, who we said his name a lot last year, just a little strong on that pass. It looks like number 60 over there is one of the sophomores we had thought that might be contributing, Mason Minson, playing left tackle.
Getting word from Dan Irick, who's vacationing in Destin, Florida, saying the stream looks good down there. So I'm glad to hear that. And glad to hear that you're in Florida enjoying some time down there, Dan. All right, 4th down, and the Panthers are set to kick. Ooh, nice play by Keegan Winkler to be able to field that football. He's going to hit a nice high kick, and it's going to fall somewhere down around the 20. We'll have to see where the official wants to spot that as it went out of bounds.
They're not getting a lot of help from each other on that. Looks like they're just going to say we're going to mark it where it landed.
19-yard line is where they're going to place the football, and the Boilermakers are going to take over.
Could be guys from Kewanee down there listening to us.
1st and 10.
It's nice of you to be hospitable like that. But yeah, that was a nice catch by Keegan. Keegan was our punter last year. He just takes one step and boots it. Never a bad thing to directionally kick a punt and pin them back. Don't give them a chance to set up a return.
All right, 1st and 10 for your Boilermakers. 3:35 to go here in the first quarter. Your Panthers up 3-0 with an early field goal by Evan Steinley. And going to try to go around this left end. Got a couple lead blockers. And a nice play by the Boilermakers. Are going to be up past the 25.
Yeah, they outran Max Milam on that one, and they got a good push on there. Brought number 30, Ace Lafolte. I should probably just didn't even start reading the other team's names. But that was a nice gain for him. 5'6", 180-pound running back.
Official is winding the clock at 3:29.
Yeah, our normal clock guy was here last night amongst all the lightning, and we have a backup in there right now running the clock.
That'd be Carl Kovarik, and he went to the Iowa football game today. Ooh, and Caleb Reamer is going to get a 15-yard face mask penalty. He was getting blocked. He just reached his arm out and happened to grab the face mask, and you can't do that at any level.
No, and, the problem is once you grab it, it's really hard to let go. Everyone says just let go, but sometimes your finger just gets hooked on it. I don't remember in high school if they have 5 or 15 or if they're just all 15. Irregardless of that, it'd be a first down. There's only 4 yards to go to the line of gain, as they say.
Mary will be so happy that you were able to fit that word in the first quarter. Very good.
Yep. Kewanee had an unbalanced line on that run. That's something that I like to see high school teams do. They can bring one of the ends over to one side to give them unbalance. They can bring a tackle over there. See if the defense adjusts. A lot of times the defense doesn't adjust forever, and then once they do, they over-adjust. So something to watch out for.
Brings the Boilermakers all the way out to the 41-yard line. And another crossbuck and try to run off a right tackle. And good job, good pursuit there by the Panther defense. 4 or 5 guys there to tackle him.
Max Milam read that really well. Wasn't able to make the stop, but was able to turn him and slow him down. As Mr. Orman said, a plethora of Panthers on the tackle, but I would give credit to number 51, Derek Nosker, on that. 6'1", 200-pound. I think he's the 4th out of a group of Noskers that have gone through the school system here. The dad, Jeff, was an Erie graduate back in the day. So Derek's only a junior, but is going to be a mainstay again for the Panthers.
Loss of 2 on the play at the 40-yard line of the Boilermakers. 2nd and 12. Clock at 2:22 in the first quarter. Going to try to run that sweeper on the left end again. And strung out a little bit, but he's able to get around the corner. Oh, and he gets high and low by a couple of defenders.
He really did. The high on that was number 8, Graydon Church. We mentioned him a lot last year as a receiver, but he showed he can lay the boom on that. That was number 10, Chris Crow for Kewanee, who showed great speed and outran Evan Steinley.
He'll be thinking about that as he gets back to the huddle. That play, Evan Steinley playing our right defensive end, had contain on that play. I thought he did a really good job, but the back was able to skirt around him and get to the outside and picked up a nice gain there of about 10 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short with 1:40 to go here in the first quarter. Clock ticking.
1:30 to go in the first quarter. 3rd and about 3 is what the down in distance is right in front of us.
All right, handoff right up the middle and met by Caleb Nosker. Stood up, and I think he's going to be just short of a first down. We're going to bring up a fourth inside Panther territory.
Yeah, Nosker was in there first, and then Caleb Reamer finished him off, but he was coming from the right side and pushed him forward about another couple feet, maybe a yard.
I like the gang tackling effort that's going on. Initial contact, and then Panthers are just swarming to the football.
Yeah, the eye test right now, we've got really good size out there with Nosker and Reamer. Crow's a good size at middle linebacker, 5'7", 180.
Big fourth down conversion here. Handoff was poor, and it looks like for the second time the Panthers are going to stop the Boilermakers on a fourth down play.
Yeah, it wasn't a great exchange with the quarterback, Isaiah Ince, and I don't know if the running back slowed down because the quarterback didn't have the handle, but it resulted in Caleb Reamer being able to beat his guy and meet the running back before the line of scrimmage. EP is going to take over right at midfield.
40 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Panthers up 3-0 on an opening drive field goal by Evan Steinley.
I see we got a lot of guys already looking like they're hot, and we got the black uniforms. It's not used to playing in the heat. They practice in the heat, but most of your football games are on a Friday night. We're going to have to contend with that, make sure they stay hydrated.
Panthers will have the football just inside Boilermaker territory. Two receivers split each way for the Panthers. Tristan in the backfield, Connor Keegan in motion from left to right. Keegan's going to run this ball off the right end, is able to get around the outside, avoids a couple of tackles, still in the open field, and he runs out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. Nice pickup for Keegan Winkler.
That's great open field running there. Steinley was out front trying to make a block and was basically just shielding his guy. And Keegan showed that athletic ability that we're really expecting him to have. The one thing, he's always kind of had that shiftiness the last couple of years. He's got a lot more size and strength to him this year. He's up to 6 foot, 175 pounds.
That results in a first down for the Panthers. Clock stopped at 35 seconds. Going to run three receivers out there far left. Keegan's going to be in the backfield all by himself. A couple of receivers split here to the right. And there's the snap, and Keegan's going to take this right up the middle, a design play, and he's going to take it down inside the 30-yard line.
Lead blockers, Caleb Reamer and Derek Nosker were leading the way. We just had one guy there that Keegan had to get past, or he'd have had the path all the way to the end zone. Still a 5-yard gain on first. We'll take it, bring a very manageable second down.
Panther coaching staff just said, you know what? Our offensive line's better than your defensive line. Let's go at it.
Yeah.
And they just proved that they were right there. So
going to run the quarter out.
And that is going to end the first quarter, and your Panthers win the quarter 3-0. And normally I'd say, hey, we'll be back in 30 seconds, but we don't get a chance to do that, so you're going to get to listen to us through this timeout. Couple of things that we want to make sure that we mention. We're in Provincetown right now, which is not supposed to be the way that it's was to go down. This is the alternating year to be in Erie, but Erie is going through an upgrade. The Erie High School football field is going through an upgrade and new bleachers and a new press box, and that work is still underway. Actively working on it. Scott was just down walking the track this morning, and they've got steel up in the air, or aluminum, whatever it is, and they're making progress. But so week one is here. We're going to be away for a couple of weeks at the varsity level. Next week we're traveling to Hall, and then the following week we're going to play a Saturday game against Newman, and then in week 4 we're scheduled to be back home. We anticipate that we'll be playing that game at the Erie High School football field.
Yeah, it's going to be a nice facility. The field looks incredible. They got new lights, and we played a couple times last year at places I know, Kewanee and Mendota, that had that new lighting system, and it just shines it up so nice. The sound system's incredible. You're going to really get to go deep in the bag of Mr. Orman's music and have a good experience when we're running out in the field and everything. So looking forward to playing back over there and having a nice new press box to sit in.
That'd be good. And we still have I've yet to even see the plans for the new press box. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know if it's going to be similar to what we're sitting in now, which is a really nice press box here in Provincetown, or if it's going to be a little different. But time will tell.
It is. The night, we've been at a lot of different facilities. We were over at Kewanee last year, and they had a nice new booth for the visitors, but they didn't have any windows on the sides. So we were very limited on how much we could see except for right in front of us. That's something this booth has done a great job at. and I'm sure our new one's going to be similar.
One other thing I wanted to mention before the second quarter gets underway is that this year, Bill Weber, who is the founder of this whole thing that we're doing, and with Rock River Community Radio, has come up with this idea of having a player of the week, and we've got a trophy for every player that we choose at the end of every game each week as a player of the week, or the player of the game. We'll be announcing that at the end of the game. All right, Panthers on a 2nd and 5. They're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan off the right end. He's got some running room. He's going to be up past the first down marker. Nice play.
Yeah, little designed option run. I don't think Keegan had any desire to do that. Nice little pitch to Tristan. What's the name on that trophy that we're going to hand out?
Scott's, plural. Scott's MVP of the week is the name of the trophy.
Got the apostrophe after the S on that. So last year we would kind of give co-MVPs once in a while, but we only got one trophy, so we're going to have to really – someone's going to have to really make their mark.
So we'll be watching that throughout the broadcast, and you guys can feel free to chime in, give your thoughts as maybe the plays wind down towards the end of the game on who you think that might be, and we'll make a decision at the end of the game and give that out each week. All right, first down for the Panthers. Got 3 receivers split to left, 2 in the slot, and Keegan Winkler's going to keep this himself. He's going to go off big number 75. Another big run is going to be up near first down marker.
A little crossbuck action. That's a little kind of play we saw a lot of last year. Just Keegan going up left tackle. Caleb Reamer leading the way. A little crossbuck action with Tristan Hovey there in the backfield. Not quite enough for a first down. That's all. I like 2nd and short when you're in positive yardage like this. We can get it down there close to the 10 with 1st and goal.
You know, all those years ago, I love playing with the guys that I got to play football with. I would have loved to have had Caleb Reamer be my lead blocker.
Yeah, we didn't have guys 6'4", 280 when we played.
Did not have anybody that I could run in behind for that. All right, 2nd and a long one for the Panthers.
No offense to
back.
Clark Mortensen.
Right. And Tristan's going to get this handoff, going to go off right guard, and he's going to have enough for the first down. Good run.
Met right at the line by Eli Dennison, sophomore linebacker, 6'1", 215. He kind of gave him a good pop. Tristan was able to keep the feet moving there and get the first down. Where's that going to – is that going to be right at the – no, just outside the 10. Excellent. We can get another one, not get in.
Sorry to step on you there. Yes, just going to mark the ball at the 11-yard line. So an opportunity to pick up a first without a score. 10:28 to go here in the first half. Your Panthers on top 3-0. And it looks like the stream has been holding pretty steady. So hopefully you guys are all able to see that well if you're choosing to watch that. Thanks to Darren Keith. He's not only the technology behind the scenes, he's also running our camera for us today. All right, they're going to hand the ball off to Max Milam this time.
Keegan, Connor Keegan was the split out there on that side, trying to get a lead block. He did a good job when he got beat to the inside, not pushing the guy in the back and avoiding the penalty that they would have got. Nice 5-yard gain as it was.
Nice run by Max. 5-yard gain on that play, his first touch of the 2025 season. After a heavy dose of Tristan and Keegan, it was a little change of pace to Max on that. Thank you for filling in the gap there. They had a moment. A couple of backs in the backfield again. And they're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan. He's going to try to get out to the outside. Caleb Nosker on a lead block. And he tries to cut it up early. Going to have gained a couple.
Right. Might have wanted to just keep bouncing that outside behind Nosker. He decided to cut it back in. The pursuit was there. Didn't get much, about a little bit of yardage. 3rd and 4, looks like.
As a back, you're sometimes screamed at. Get that thing upfield, get it upfield, and not go east and west so much. But, man, when you got somebody like an Oscar or a Reamer lead blocking, you might want to just follow where they're going.
Exactly.
But Tristan did see a gap there, decided to take it, and he did have a nice positive gain there for a couple yards. Brings up a 3rd down and 5 for the Panthers inside the 5-yard line. Inside the 10-yard line. And Evan Steinley is going to have an opportunity to get in the end zone. Does a nice job of avoiding a tackle and in for a score, Evan Steinley.
Yep, nice job out there. Number 8, Graydon Church was the lead blocker. Same situation with Connor Keegan just before that, where his guy turned his back to him. He was able to deflect him enough and take it into the end zone. We didn't want to have to kick another field goal and only be up 6-0 as it felt like we were dominating there. So nice to get in the end zone.
That is the exact same play that we've run so many times to Connor Keegan in the last couple of years. We just switched it up a little bit and went the Steinley on that play, and Evan did a nice job avoiding the would-be tackle, and bounced it into the end zone for a 6-yard run. Panthers up not 69-0, but 9-0. And we got a flag on the play.
Oh, they're going to call we kind of drew them offside. You don't see that very much on a PAT. Usually they just the holder will snap his hand or move his hands and get the ball snapped. But they had a count and Kewanee jumped, so they're going to move it half the distance. We're going to bring the offense back out, try and go for 2 here.
Good play by the Panthers, and yeah, you gain a yard and a half. You might as well go for 2. Brings the offensive unit back on the field. Keegan in the backfield with Tristan. And Keegan's going to go right, look to throw right, and he's got Max at the end zone. And he just drops it after contact was made, so the extra point no good.
He did. He had that in his hand. Looked like that was going to be a nice pass and catch for a 2-point conversion. But we got the touchdown. We're up 9-0. It's nice to see Steinley out there contributing because that's really what we were looking for this year, someone to kind of step in for Dimitri Larson. Everybody else we all kind of knew what they could do. Steinley's going to be a big part of the success on this team. And you just look at him out there, he has one of the biggest bodies on the field, so he's going to be a big contributor, looks like offensively and defensively.
Got a chance to exchange some conversation through email with Coach Whitebread this week and asking him, some of the keys to this game one and to get a win under the belt. And offensively, he was looking to protect the ball, to extend opportunities for positive plays. Through just a quarter plus, we've done that pretty well. During scrimmage, he said we didn't execute blocking assignments on several plays during that scrimmage last Saturday. That doesn't seem to have been a problem so far through a quarter. So good job offensively. Defensively, ball pursuit, gang tackling, and I think we've talked about that on numerous occasions already through several plays. And then the fourth key on the defensive side is to create takeaways, and we've yet to see one of those, but it's early.
Yeah, the big part of that defense is going to be Reamer and Nosker. If they're demanding double teams on either edge like they're going to be, that's going to allow other guys to have free to roam and to do that pursuit like you were talking about.
All right, Steinley's legs getting a workout here today. He's getting set to kick off from the 40-yard line, kicking into the wind. Although it's not blowing
I would like to
too
see
terribly
him
hard.
Not kick it to number 10.
And he's not. He's going to kick it to number 17. It bounces and gets picked up at the 8-yard line, and we'll have our first return of the year. And good angles, and able to get him out of bounds at about the 25-yard line.
Number 17, Carter Hadaway, is the person who got him down. He did a really nice job right there. Very excited to get that stop as well.
One of the things that also talking with Coach Whitebread defensively, and we haven't called his name yet, but I think he's creating some opportunities for Nosker and for Reamer, is a sophomore that's starting at nose guard, and that's John Holland. Last year at the sophomore level, he was a linebacker. They decided to move him to defensive line with his wrestling background, his strength, his size, just making a huge impact, and has done incredibly well so far early in this season. So look for John to be a big asset for us on the defensive line this year. All right, 1st and 10 for the Boilermakers. Looking to roll out. He was going to throw the football, I thought, but he's actually going to run out the left end, and he's running for his life at this point.
Jordan Crow on the pursuit out there was able to just corral him and throw him down. Yes, John Holland, he was playing nose, as you were just mentioning. He's a sophomore, 5'8", 2 1/4. A lot of power right there in the middle of the field.
A couple other sophomores that you'll hear some this year. Well, maybe not hear a ton because they're offensive linemen, but they're going to make a big impact for us. Mason Minson, Brecken Sandrock are a couple of newcomers. And I loved what Coach Whitebread said about those guys. They came up, had great summers in the weight room and preseason, and they earned their spots the old-fashioned way. They earned it. They're going to look to throw the football, and a completion out here to this right end. And got three tacklers finally brought down after a gain of about 3 or 4 on that play. Bring up a 3rd down.
Yeah, it looks like Connor Johnson was the one that turned him inside. We were able to get the stop. Number 10 there for Kewanee looks like the one guy we don't want to get in the open field. Looks like he could outrun everybody on the field.
And there's a jump by the offensive line of the Boilermakers. And that'll set them back 5 yards and create a 3rd and long. Coaching staff, for the most part for the Panthers, has remained the same with one addition. I'll get those called off real quick. So Coach Tyler Whitebread in his 2nd year as head coach has been with the program a number of years. Offensive coordinator is Coach Abbott. Assistant coaches are Damian DeMay, Kyle Foster, John Widener, Philip Kors. And new to the program this year is Tristan DeMay. And an interesting fact about Tristan is that Coach Whitebread actually coached Tristan at Morrison about a decade ago. So there was a player-coach relationship, and now they're on the same coaching staff.
That was an interesting fact. You told it very well.
Thank you.
It's a line from The Office. Josh will appreciate that.
All right, we got our first timeout, and it's going to be called by the Panther defense. Excuse me. Officials are dancing now, and they're going to say that the Bureau Valley Storm, that was last week, the Kewanee Boilermakers actually called that timeout. So they're going to burn their first timeout with, I don't know how much time on the clock because it's counting down 54 seconds for the 1 minute timeout. But here with some time left here in the first half with the Boilermakers trailing 9-0 inside Boilermaker territory at the 25-yard line, and really the Boilermakers just kind of spitting and sputtering at this point.
Yeah, they are. The one thing that I'm only concerned about is that it looks like they got the one big play potential guy there that could turn the game around and make it a close game. We can keep it out of his hands, number 10 for Kewanee. I don't think they're going to be able to knock it down the field on us, grounding and pounding it. I got the scores from yesterday, the teams that did play. I can't believe all these games got in and ours didn't, but if we would have played, we would have had to wait until well after 9 o'clock to get ours in with the amount of lightning that we had. Mendota lost to Riverdale 20-0. Monmouth Roseville a winner over Mercer County 35-14. Newman was the victory over Princeton 28-14. Rock Ridge beat Sherrard 45-0, and Orion over Hall 40-21.
So really the Newman-Princeton game was an upset, I think, if you just think about years past in programs. Newman had been touting themselves as being strong coming into this season. They did lose a few players, but felt like they had really replenished their program coming in and felt like they were going to be strong. And they put up a good showing last night against Princeton. So a big win for them to get things kicked off. Really, the scores on the rest of the conference, kind of what you expected to see through week one.
Yeah, you never know with Riverdale, them scoring 20-0 over Mendota, but those are two teams that are usually always kind of working their way up. Mendota, that was a really nice facility last year when we went there. They're one of the ones that had the play clock, which was really nice to see.
All right, 3rd and long for the Boilermakers, and they've got 3 receivers split out here wide to the right and 1 wide left. And they're going to look to throw left, and they're just going to throw it up in a wing of a prayer, and he's got a man open. Connor Keegan late to the party, and they're going to pick up a big gain up to midfield, pick up a first down. Evan Steinley also in on that coverage.
Yeah, big Connor Johnson for EP, number 6, was right at the quarterback as he threw it. Connor Johnson, 6'2", 175 pounds, just was a hair late on that, and he basically just threw the ball up. But, that's the main offensive threat for Kewanee, looks like, is number 10, Chris Crow, a sophomore at 6'2", 180, was able to jump up there and make that reception.
All right, first down right at midfield for the Boilermakers. Their first big play of the game, up under center, as they have been all day. A couple of backs in the backfield are going to pitch it, and they're going to try to run off the left side, and they got a big opening. And feels like they got just a little bit of new life.
Yep, that's that Chris Crow that we were talking about again. Nice 8-yard gain and a big push for them. He's coming off the field on this down. They haven't been able to get much offense with anybody else to this point, so when he's not on the field, that's a bonus for EP. Looks like the main weapon they will have at this point is number 30. Actually, he's another sophomore at fullback.
That was a pickup of 8, so 2nd and along to inside Panther territory. And they're going to run the same play to this right side. And there was a hold there that did not get called. But good pursuit there and little to no gain by the Boilermakers. But a clear hold, and I think there were 240 people in the stands all yelling the same thing there.
They all did yell the same thing. Derek Nasker was being, well, shoot. The guy's number isn't on the program. Big 72 over there for Kewanee was occupying Derek Nasker. I want to see what his dimensions are. Dimensions. Is that a good word?
In some situations, I'm not sure that one, but we'll let her go. I did use skirting last week.
That's right.
All right, third down, and they're actually going to call a loss of 1, maybe even 2 on that play. Third down and 4, all backed up to the 44-yard line of the Panthers. 3 backs in the backfield, and handed the ball off to the second back through. He's going to be up just short of the first down, about a yard short.
Yep, that's the number 30, Ace. I shouldn't even say his name. We'll just call him Ace. I don't want to screw it up. Going to bring up 4th and short. Little momentum here for Kewanee on this drive.
If you're new to listening to us, you're just going to have to get used to it. Sometimes we're not proper, and we're just kind of going with the flow. A couple of guys just enjoying football game and trying to pass that along to you. And just work with us a little bit. 4th down and 1, and hand off to the first back through. Actually, second back through, and he's going to have enough. It looks like for the first down. Going to get it by just maybe the nose of a football.
Yeah, just across the line. It's like they're already about ready to move the chains. It's like there's 4 minutes and counting. Well, not counting, as they did stop it for the first down. 4:01 on the clock. EP is up 9-0. Kewanee has the ball on our 39-yard line. 1st and 10. Number 10, that Chris Crow for Kewanee, has been on the sideline since that 8-yard run to start this drive.
Haven't seen anybody chime in on the live chat on YouTube yet, so if you're out there watching, give that a try. We could test that out. Up under center, and they don't really know what play they want to throw there, and they did get it to a back finally. And nice job. I looked like maybe Graydon Church out there.
Yeah, that was one of those plays. It looked like they were going to do something inside with one of the running backs, and they both just kind of stood there. Well, the defense just kind of stood and watched too, and then he did pitch it out to the outside. Showed good enough speed to avoid a loss. Only did get about a gain of about a foot.
Is Graydon number 8?
Graydon is number 8, yes.
Yeah. Put his nose right in between the 2 numbers there of the running back, and did a nice job bringing him down there in open field.
Number 10 for Kewanee coming back into the game for the first time. Pay close attention to him. He's going to come over here to the wide side of the field. It feels like it's cooled off a little bit. It was a pretty warm start at kickoff. A little cloud cover.
Slots for both sides, and good pursuit by the Panthers. And they're just throwing the football up for grabs. And we got an interception by number 2, Connor Keegan. You're talking about those hands.
Yeah, he kind of took it away from Gavin Adams on that. I think Gavin even kind of turned around like, who caught that? They were trying to hit number 10, Chris Crow for Kewanee. Good pursuit from the line of scrimmage there by the Panthers. I didn't look like, I think Derek Nasker was one of the ones in there.
Yes. Yep.
And made him just throw it up for grabs. Very similar to the play that they had earlier where Crow was able to come down with the reception. Great play by Connor, though, to get the ball back.
So with 2:32 to go here in the first half, your Panthers up 9-0. They're going to take the football over at just inside or outside the 30-yard line on their side of the football field, and they're going to pitch the ball out to Tristan. He's got Caleb with the lead block and a big open field run. He's up past midfield, still on his feet, and down at about the 42-yard line of the Boilermakers. Big run there.
Yeah, that was started by Gavin Adams on the right side. He just pushed his defender all the way to the wall and allowed Tristan to cut inside, and with the lead block by Nosker, huge gain.
Great play there. Give us just a minute as we watch the chain gang running from one side to the other to give those guys some credit. Kurt Wolf, Craig Wolf, Chad Jepson, and looks like Jody Wells over there maybe running the chain gang. Jody'd be new to the gang today. Mike Winkler's typically one of the guys. Keith McKay as well, but I know Keith's watching, or at least watched the Illinois football game last night. I believe he stayed down there and watched that. All right, Max in motion, left to right, and Keegan's going to keep this himself, go right up the middle. Does a nice job avoiding a couple tackles. He's got a nice gain to pick up of about 5.
Yeah, he had a chance to pop that outside, decided to put the foot down and go inside. It is Mike Winkler over there. He's holding the first down marker.
Brings up 2nd down and about 4 for the Panthers.
Okay, yeah, Jody Wells is holding one of the markers too. Okay, so Craig Wolf is not over there. Craig taking the day off today.
No, he's getting older. He needs time off.
And if you guys happen to see Kurt Wolf out there and about, wish him a happy birthday today. Appreciate him doing this on his on his big day of the year. All right, 2nd and 5 for the Panthers. Back to throw the football is Keegan going to look to air it out. He's got Connor Keegan down the field, and he's open. And a catch and a touchdown for the Panthers. That's a 43-yard strike from Keegan Winkler to Connor Keegan.
Yeah, well, that was a great throw. Connor was just kind of setting up the defender. He knew that he could run underneath of it, and Connor showed great hands on the over-the-shoulder catch. You could just tell the two of them just have a lot of confidence in each other, just like they were just setting that play up is what it just played out right in front of us. Great hands by Connor, able to just go the last 5 yards into the end zone.
Been really impressed with this Panther, both sides of the football, just taking things in stride and just have been in control. And it doesn't feel like there's any kind of anxiety or anything like that, right?
No, they feel like they're the better team, and that's how they're playing right now.
Evan set to kick the extra point. And the hold is down, and the kick is way up there, and it's good. Max Milam is the holder. And your Panthers up 16-0 with just over a minute to go here in the first half.
I think that's new from last year. I don't remember Max being the holder at PATs last year.
Keegan Winkler, I think, was the holder last year. And again, we're looking for the coaching staff's looking for ways to plug Max in. This is an opportunity for Max to, spend some time there and get proficient at it. So it could be that's what's going on. Can't say for sure, but another good offensive series for the Panthers.
1:07 left in this half, 16-0 for EP. And we did kick off, so we're going to receive the ball to start the second half. We'll just keep this momentum going if we can stop them here.
All right, got a couple comments from Dan Dwyer listening in from Denver. And go Boilers. So, hey, that's all right. We're here for both sides, and you might sound a little one-sided, but we're certainly glad you tuned in and are able to watch the game from wherever you're sitting today. In your case, from Denver.
Well, Evan's last few kicks have been to his left side. Kewanee has switched the returners, and their big weapon is now moved over to that side. See if we recognize that, and Evan is able to kick it off to the right.
Waiting for the whistle, and there it is. And here is Steinley for another kick. Another good one. Going to kick it to their big guy. Going to field it cleanly at the 10-yard line. Has got some room for a return. And he's up past the 20, past the 25, and brought down by a bunch of Panthers near the 25-yard line.
Yeah, that was very good pursuit by EP. Kewanee wasn't setting up a wall or anything there. He'd have been better off just using his speed. He would have got all the way up to the 30 at least before he would have even had to avoid a tackle. So really nice kick by Evan as well. He's been driving them well inside the 20. That's a great weapon.
From their own 26-yard line.
Got right at 1 minute left in this half. Kewanee trailing 16-0 and starting this drive at their own 26-yard line.
Got a minute left here in the first half. Got a few more comments, so glad to see you guys chiming in. Candy, Laverne, Justin Ford as well. Got a pass out here to the right flat, and it's caught. And people staying where they need to stay, and looks like a nice tackle there for little to no gain.
Yeah, great pursuit by the Panthers on that one. Looks like
Gavin Adams
got that. Max Milam was out there as well, and it looks like there's a timeout on the field. Kewanee is EP taking their timeout on that one. We want to try and maybe force them, and we'll get one shot at it, maybe a punt return.
Yep, we got all three timeouts, so that's the first one we just burned there. 46 seconds to go here in the first half on a half that's really been dominated on both sides of the football by your Panthers.
Yeah, I had the thoughts about taking stats, but, it's not going to happen. So normally we have Don Coonan up here, and we can just rely on him. I don't know where he's at tonight, this afternoon.
He went to Michigan this weekend to hang out with his oldest son, Rhett, and Rhett's family, Rhett's wife.
Okay.
And I assume Kathy tagged along as well.
We should be able to get some stats from our sideline, the Panther statisticians. I think you got a connection with them, and they'll shoot us some stats so we can give you some of those at halftime. Won't be able to have a whole lot for you for post game, as we're wrapping up. But in the future weeks, it all should be like a normal broadcast where Don's able to spew those out to us really quick. Well, so we still have 2 timeouts left. Second down for Kewanee. Watch any trick plays on here.
Second down
and 12 for the Boilermakers. Ball spotted just inside the 25-yard line of the Boilermakers. 2 receivers split both ways. Shotgun formation. And they're going to hand the football off and run it up the middle. And we got a flag thrown right in the middle of the field. And again, a high-low tackle. Evan Steinley put a lick on the running back.
Yeah, Evan did a good job on just kind of holding back on that, even though he did knock him back, because that's one where he really could have clocked them and possibly got an unsportsmanlike. The holding penalty is what the flag is immediately. I'm sure we'll decline that if we're going to try and get the ball back. We need the down.
Holding against Kewanee.
So that'll bring up third
down.
About 12.
And that really helps the Panthers because that stops the clock and saves them a timeout. So third down, and they picked up a yard on that play. So it'll be 3rd and 11.
Yeah, barring a first down, we're going to get the ball back with the chance to run maybe a play with the timeout in our pocket here. If they do pass it, it could be incomplete. We'll just have to see. I would be very unlikely for them to throw a pass, but they got single coverage out here on the right side. Oh, EP did burn a timeout on that.
I wonder if they maybe start the clock after
the penalty?
After the penalty.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure how all those rules go. I should know that.
Timeout, Panthers.
But yeah, if the clock did start, they would need to call that timeout.
Some scores around the conference.
And I'm just getting word from Chad Misfelt. Chad and Mason and Drew have been staples on the sideline doing stats for the Panthers for a number of years. Well, actually, since Drew graduated high school, he kind of picked it up and was doing that with his dad, who had been doing it while Drew was playing. And then when Mason graduated, he just picked it up as well. So those 3 guys and Jeff Nosker have been the guys that have been doing the stats for him. And Chad's in Wisconsin today. So I now have another phone contact that he just shared with me. We'll see if Jeff Nosker can maybe give us some.
I do see Jeff down there with a clipboard standing next to Dave Minson and someone else over there, so that must be where our stats will be coming from.
Tuesday night, 5:30 start, Fresh Off Football versus Kewanee at Kewanee.
3rd and 12 as Kewanee comes back to the line of scrimmage.
All right, a run and breaks through the first line of defense and is able to get up near a first down. Going to be 2 or 3 yards short of that first down, and the Panthers will quickly burn their final timeout.
Yeah, that was number 30, Ace, on that carry. He's their main running weapon. What do you got going on?
So at halftime today, normally we would have a cheer, dance, band, all of that stuff would be going on, and that was all ready to go last night. We were going to introduce the JFL teams last night, and then with the postponement, we don't have any of that today. JFL's playing games today somewhere. I'm not sure where they are today, but so they're obviously engaged in some other activity and can't be here. I'm not sure what's going on with the cheerleaders, dance team. Band, but we were told before the game that they would not be performing today. So we are going to be kind of light at halftime. We do have a little bit of halftime entertainment that we'll share with you. We got some music that will play in the background for this 20-minute half. And we'll bring you live second half action when it's
we'll come back with a few minutes to go in the halftime, probably when the warm-up period starts. So 4th and 3 for Kewanee at their own. Well, they got it marked at the 34-yard line, it looks like.
All right, 4th down, looking to punt the football away. And there's a good snap and just able to get it off. Big punt by the Boilermakers. Connor Keegan does a nice job fielding at about 25-yard line. And we got a flag on the play, so this entire run's going to come back. And Connor's going to break this thing open and likely run this thing all the way to the house. But we got an illegal block back here at the 30-yard line, and so that 70-yard return is going to go for naught.
Boy, I saw Graydon Church setting up that block. That did not look like a block in the back. I don't know if you saw that or not. But
well, I'll be able to watch it here in a second because I got YouTube up.
You got the YouTube. Well, take a look at that. That certainly didn't look like that's what it was, but that's what the call was. So that's going to take 6 points off the board. Great return by Connor Keegan, though.
And a good job with the blocking scheme to set up that wall So with 12 and a half seconds left, the Panthers will have the ball back deep in their own territory at about the 20-yard line with that 10-yard penalty.
Evan Steinley was in there. I think he had a chance. He could have blocked it if he'd have ran in front of the punter, but he didn't want to take a chance on having a penalty, so he just kind of ran off to the side and put his hand in there. So it's going to take 6 points off the board and move the ball back to about the 20-yard line. Get a little chance to watch it here. Yeah.
There was definitely a block in the back there.
All right,
as we're watching the replay.
My homerism was on display there, so good call by the official. Sorry for questioning your call. Looks like EP's just going to down it and not risk anything else and go into the half with 16-0 lead.
And Keegan does down that football, and they'll let the clock tick down. And just as Scott said, we're going to take a big lead going into halftime, and really a complete domination by the Panthers, both sides of the football. And a good start to the Panthers 2025 season. Looks like just a quick update, JV Lady Panthers, talking volleyball here, playing Kewanee for the BV Tournament Championship. So congratulations. Good luck to you ladies on that. And, we didn't get a chance to talk about one of the things we're going to try to focus on a little bit better than we have in years past is football's not the only thing going on here in the fall for the Panther programs. And so we're reaching out to the various coaches in the fall sports and just making sure that we're staying up to date with the things that are going on with the other sports. And so we'll try to give you those recaps, if you will, from the previous week. Volleyball off to a really good start. Beat Orion and Bureau Valley this last week, both in straight matches, straight sets.
With the new coach this year.
With the new coach, Rachel Bram. And so they're 2-0, and they're playing their next match will be at Kewanee on Tuesday, September 2nd.
And the volleyball games are available online through Huddle, I believe.
Yep. I'll skip down to girls golf. Girls golf has come out of the gate really strong. They got rained out at Oregon and then have 4 matches under their belts. They beat Rock Island 232-202. Our own Izzy Johnston was a medalist. Shot a 43 there, and Michelle Nosker had a 46. This next one was really impressive. The Alleman Invite was played at Saukey. We won that. We beat Moline by 3 shots. Izzy Johnston placed second in that, had a couple of birdies on her card, and Michelle Nosker finished 4th out of 54 golfers. So great job on that tournament. Also last week, they won a triangular meet against Alleman and Riverdale, and Michelle Nosker was the medalist in that one, shot a 44. Sarah Carlson had a personal best of a 51 there. And then most recently, they had and I'm jealous here because they played at Fire Lake, had a triangular with Sherrard and Rock Ridge, and they won that as well. Izzy, again, the medalist at 45, Michelle with a 47, and Bailey Snowden with a personal best 48 to round that out. So girls off to a really strong start. I did not get an update from the boys. We'll hope to. I'll be sure to get that for you and make sure that that's on the schedule for next week. Last thing I have for you to cover this week is the cross country team, and they've got 1 under their belt so far. That Rocket Invite in Sterling, and boys and girls run together. 16 schools. The girls varsity medal winners were Sarah Link, who finished 8th. Rosalind Mosher finished 15th. The team finished 6th overall out of 16 schools, and 4 girls set personal records. So great job on that side. The boys varsity top runners were Braden Punk and Gus Schultz. Gus, you might remember, I think played football last year and opted to run cross country this year. That team finished 4th overall out of 16 schools, and 2 guys set personal records. JV, I'll give you an update on that as well. The top runners and ribbon winners were Chase Young, who finished 4th, Jackson Tegler 5th, and Steve Swadost finished 8th, and I sure hope that I got that name right. Team finished 2nd overall, and 5 guys at the JV level had personal bests in their run. Their next outing is on next Saturday, the 6th, and that'll be at the Oregon Invite. So that's a recap of what's gone on in the world of EP Sports in the last week.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to give all those updates. That's something we can do during timeouts or between quarters during the season. Because normally at halftime we'd be showing whatever's going on in the middle of the field, and there isn't anything going on out here right now.
All right. So Trevor Richmond just sent me a text that EP girls finished first place at the Princeton tournament. So this is their second tournament they've won. Excuse me. I also have one other, and that's a JFL update, and that came through via text. So let me get to that. 5th and 6th grade lost 12-0 last week. Didn't have any penalties, only gave up 2 big plays that went for touchdowns and didn't give up any extra points. So good showing. Jeff was proud with how that team played that football game. The 7th and 8th grade did win their game. Jeff couldn't remember what that score was, but it was a one-sided football game. So JFL off to a start. And again, they're playing somewhere today, and I did not have their schedule in front of me.
It is not at Erie, I know that.
All right, with that, I think we're going to go ahead and step aside. Darren's going to set us up with some music to be able for you to listen to for about the next 10 minutes or so. We'll come back on. Hopefully have some stats for you if Jeff Nosker if he reads his texts and gets us what we need to have to share with you. Otherwise, hey, we'll just wing it, and we'll bring you second half live action when we get back. We'll see you in a bit.
At Country Financial in Prophetstown, Illinois, we know life comes with risk. That's why we're here to help you protect what matters most. Whether it's home, auto, life, or business insurance, we've got the coverage you need and the local service you can trust. Planning for the future? Our team is here to help with financial planning and retirement solutions tailored to you. Visit Country Financial in Prophetstown or give us a call today. Country Financial, growing your future, protecting what matters.
Looking for a bank that puts you first? At Erie State Bank, we've been proudly serving our community with personalized service and a hometown touch. Whether it's checking, savings, loans, or mortgages, we're here to help you reach your financial goals. Bank local, bank smart, with online banking, mobile apps, and friendly faces ready to assist. Erie State Bank is always here for you. Visit Erie State Bank today in Erie, Illinois, and experience banking built on trust and community.
Are you feeling overwhelmed? You're not alone. Join the Gray Matters Collective, where mental health matters. With local chapters and collective coffee conversations, we're here to support you. Connect with us on Facebook at the Gray Matters Collective and be part of the community that cares. The Gray Matters Collective, because your mental health matters.
Looking for fresh, homemade treats? Visit Harvest Bakery and More in Erie, Illinois. From warm, buttery croissants to mouth-watering pies and cakes, we've got something for everyone. Need a special order for an event? We've got you covered with custom cakes and pastries that are sure to impress. Stop by today at Harvest Bakery and More on Main Street in Erie and taste the difference. Fresh, local, and made with love. Harvest Bakery and More, where every bite is a treat.
Attention all area foster and adoptive families. My name is Tiffany Garsha, and I am the founder and president of Raising Hope. Raising Hope is a nonprofit foster care closet located in Erie, Illinois, serving Whiteside, Lee, Ogle, Joe Davies, Rock Island, and Carroll counties. We reach out to area foster and adoptive families and provide emergency placement overnight bags, toiletries, clothing, diapering essentials, and more at no cost. If you ever need help with a new placement coming into your home, please reach out. Also, stay tuned for many of our upcoming events. Each summer, we sponsor a free carnival for children. During our fall time, we have a movie night. And then we also have a special angel tree around Christmas time. You can find us on Facebook at Raising Hope Erie, or you can reach out to us via email at raisinghopeerie@gmail.com. Thank you.
Panther fans, it's time to gear up and show your Panther pride. 5 Mile Creations is your hometown shop for custom EP fan gear and more. From single shirts to full team orders, 5 Mile will design and create apparel for any event. Individuals, businesses, teams, we do it all. Visit 5milecreations.com today and we'll turn your idea into reality. Go Panthers!
All right, we're back here live, getting ready for second half action. Panthers up 16-0, and they'll get the ball to start the second half. And Scott, you got some stats you want to share with us from first half?
Yeah, rushing, Keegan Winkler with 7 carries for 43 yards. Tristan Hovey, 7 carries for 45 yards. Max Milam, 1 for 5. Evan Steinley, 1 for 5. That gave us a total of 98 yards rushing and 1 touchdown with Steinley. Winkler was 2 or 3 passing for 36 yards. Steinley caught one of those, and Connor Keegan with the other one for 36 yards and a touchdown. Kewanee only has 36 yards rushing and 37 yards receiving for a total of 73 yards. So EP has outgained them 134 to 73 at this point.
And we're getting ready for second half football. And if you're watching this thing live stream, a little hack there that Clark shared with us, if you watch the game on your phone, on your TV, you can catch if you watch the game on your TV, you might be able to catch the replay on your phone. It might lag a little bit. So, all right, there's the kickoff and field of cleaning at the 25-yard line, and up past the 30, where he's met by a few Boilermakers. I think that might have been Connor Keegan with the return.
Yeah, Connor on that return, I guess he decided to try and put his head down to run through that, and he met a wall and went straight backwards. Still a nice return, clear out across the 30. Connor had a really nice punt return to end the first half. Was the touchdown that got called back. Showed that he could make a nice return there.
Second half underway, 11:53 to go here. And your Panthers with the first look of the offensive unit in the second half. Familiar formation, trips right for the Panthers. Going to pitch it out here to Tristan Nosker out here on the right edge with the lead block. Nice job by number 7.
That's
Gavin Adams.
Gavin Adams out there on the right side, and Tristan did a nice job of letting Derek Nosker get out there, leading him on the way around that right side. Going to be just enough for a first down.
Quick first down there for the Panthers. Tristan off with a good play to start the second half. Overloaded that right side with trips and just overwhelmed what would have been the Kewanee left side of their defense. Ball placed on the right hash mark, so big side of the field to the left. Connor Keegan out there all by himself. 2 backs in the backfield with Keegan. And they're going to hand the ball right up the middle to Milam, and driving with both legs, which is good to see. He's got a nice pickup of 2, maybe 3 yards on that play.
Yeah, he did run that really nice. He had a carry like that in the, I guess you call it the scrimmage last week against Brio Valley, and wasn't able to drive through the initial hit. He was showed there that he was able to do that, able to push off with that brace. Looks like about a 3-yard gain. Going to make it 2nd and 7.
Panthers to the line. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. 3 receivers split right. Maxon in motion to the left. And Keegan's going to keep this himself. Met pretty quickly. Going to have just a short gain of 1 there.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to pitch it outside and wasn't able to do it, so he tried to put it down. And Kewanee's roster only goes to 60, and that was number 70 on that stop. So we're not going to be able to tell you who that is unless there's a back page of this, which I doubt. Oh, there is actually. Look at that.
Jesus Martinez.
It's 6'4", 235.
Who would have thunk?
Never seen a roster on both sides of the paper before.
All right, third down and a long 5 for your Panthers. 9:52 to go here in the third quarter, up 16-0. Slot receivers set both sides for the Panthers. And they're going to hand it off to Max, and he's going to go off right guard. He's back pretty quick. He's actually going to, looking at a short game, maybe a half yard on that. He'll bring up 4th down. Still inside Panther territory.
Yeah, a little crossbuck action there. Minson was pulling from the left tackle position and wasn't able to seal that one spot there. He kind of ran upfield, and Max got met at the line of scrimmage. 4th and 5.
Ball on the 47-yard line of the Panthers, and it looks like Keegan Winkler going to get set to punt. Keegan is second year as a varsity punter. sure why official ran in there and got the laces down on that football.
Laces up, Finkel.
Good snap and a good kick, and there'll be no return. Looks like it's going to bounce for the Panthers. It's going to be down inside the 10. Looks like maybe down to about the 6-yard line, so a great punt.
Yeah, what a great kick there for Keegan, because they had their returner there, number 10, Chris Crow for Kewanee. He would have had a lot of, but he just showed no interest in going over to get that at all. So we're going to pin them back, looks like just outside of the 5, inside the 6-yard line. Kewanee will have their first possession of the second half here with 8:53 to go in the third quarter, and EP up 16-0.
First look at the Panther defense here in the second half. After a really strong showing in the first half with a not even really a bend not break mentality. It was just a more of a dominating first half for the.
It really
for the
was.
Panther
Most of their yards came on that one jump ball that they caught on that third down pass.
Ball at 6-yard line, deep in Boilermaker territory. Up under center is the Boilermakers. They're going to pitch the ball off, try to get this thing outside. Caleb Reamer had a hand on him, but able to get free. Good run by the Boilermaker. He's out into open field. It looks like Nostri's going to try to catch him, but I don't think he's going to. And with that, it's going to be a 94-yard touchdown run. I don't see any flags on the play. Had several Panthers put hands on that runner, but not able to bring him down.
Yeah, Jordan Crow had a chance there. Adam Reamer had a chance, and number 30, Ace, was able to avoid both of those tackles. The 5'6", 180-pound running back was able to outrun Derek Nosker. The two of them were basically on a match race there from about the 45, and he showed just enough speed to outrun him. That's going to take a little wind out of Derek's sail, too. He's got to come over here and try and get his energy back for us to, offensively after this possession, after this extra point.
An unfortunate start for the Panther defense there, giving up a long touchdown run. Score 16-6 right now with 8:34 to go here in the third quarter. Not what you wanted to see from the first defensive series from the Panthers.
Yeah, 94-yard run for Kewanee. They scored quickly. A lot quicker than they're able to get lined up for this PAT.
And unfortunate for the Boilermakers, they're going to have to burn a timeout as the play clock was ticking down there. So on this extra point.
Yeah, that can happen. You're totally not thinking that you're going to be ready for a PAT. They hadn't scored yet this year. 94-yard run. Everyone's jumping up and down. You're celebrating. And then all you remember, oh, hey, we still have another job to do. You get all excited about all that, and it's just something you take for granted when everything goes easy. But it's actually something that can is a very common thing to have a problem there on a big play like that. If you're marching the ball down the field, you're thinking in your head. So a little lesson for them and kind of a break for EP that Kewanee's going to have to burn a timeout. I mean, the penalty only would have been 5 yards if they're going to kick. 5 yards wouldn't make a difference. Maybe they are going to go for 2, and so they wanted to save those 5 yards. Be a big stop here since we're up we got to the 16. You always think about high school scores and numbers of 8, even though we got there with a field goal.
Yeah, going for 2 makes sense for the Boilermakers here. It would cut it to a potential 1 score with extra points. And the Boilermakers coming up to the line of scrimmage, getting ready to go. 8:34, like I mentioned, to go here in the third quarter.
Wouldn't be surprised to see number 10 isolated out there with Connor Keegan.
And they're going to roll right. They're going to pitch right. And good pursuit by the Panthers.
Yeah,
forces him out of bounds.
Yeah, that was a great job by EP. Interesting play design on that one. So great job by EP to stop that. 8.5 left in the third quarter. EP up 16-6.
And it's the little things in football that sometimes can go unnoticed by a lot of people. Coaching staff certainly picked up on the fact that was a big play right there.
Yeah, it was kind of fortunate for us because we could cut. We had a bunch of guys that ran down the field defensively too. Your heads down after dominating that first half, and we, with that timeout, gave us a chance to say, hey, this is a really big stop in the game right now. Let's just put that behind us, and get a chance to get a stop and move on from that.
Got a number of people tuning in to watch our broadcast today. Thanks for tuning in.
Going to get me as nervous as Bobby Brady in the TV quiz contest, Brady Bunch.
Hope you're enjoying this broadcast from Rock River Community Radio. Again, excited to bring you video. Last year, just getting this thing launched. Bill Weber and his dream to bring EP Sports to your living rooms became a reality, and we did that through audio, through the apps on the phone that you guys and gals listened into, and we had just an outpouring of people with support for that, and at times last year in the hundreds of people listening, and we appreciate that. This year, with the help from the Erie High School, purchased some equipment and are able to get this thing to a full broadcast, both audio and visual. So happy to be doing that this year. All right, kickoff for the Boilermakers, and is fielded cleanly, and straight up the field comes Gavin Adams. He's up past the 35-yard line, still on his feet, up past the 45-yard line, and a great return by the Panthers.
It really was. He got first contact inside the 35, was able to push forward for another 10 yards and almost broke that free. Great job on getting us out at real positive yardage. Let's get that offense moving and get back to that 2-score lead. I guess we actually do have a 2-score lead, but let's make it a little bit more comfortable.
In golf, you call that a bounce back, where you, after a bogey, you make a birdie, and it's what the Panthers needed right there. It was a big play after a letdown of a 94-yard touchdown run by the Kewanee Boilermakers. Just what the doctor ordered. All right, 2 receivers split each way for the Panthers. One back in the backfield with Keegan. And Keegan's going to keep this thing himself and swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there was nothing there for him on that one. Oswaldo Sanchez, number 51 for Kewanee, gathered him up, 5'7", 225 pounds.
He was
gain.
Licking his chops when he saw Keegan running at him and just put his arms out. Keegan had nothing to do there.
Yeah, I don't know what makes me think I'm just going to read a number from Kewanee and be able to say the name right away, but I don't get to say Oswaldo too many times in my life either.
7:55 to go here in the third quarter. Clock running. Your Panthers on top 16-6. Here at Mosier Field in Prophetstown. Couple of backs in the backfield. And looking to pass the football, rolling out right, looking to throw, got a man open, and good closing speed by the defender, able to knock that thing away from Evan Steinley, the intended receiver.
Yeah, he was looking at Max Milam initially underneath, and he got covered up, so he looked a little deeper to Evan, who was open. And the best athlete on the field, I think, Chris Crow for Kewanee, was able to close in on the ground there and knock that out of Evan's hands. He actually almost got an interception on that. That would have been very unfortunate. So we'll take the incomplete pass, bring up 3rd and 10, almost at midfield, about the 45-yard line.
Pass wobbled on Keegan just a little bit, not the sharp, crisp pass that he certainly was looking for there to thread that needle. 3rd down and 10. Ball inside Panther territory at the 45-yard line. 3 receivers split to the right, looking to throw the football. Got a man open, and ball again once again almost picked off, but falls incomplete.
Yeah, Abram Hicks really drove on that ball, was able to cut inside of Steinley's route. Keegan just kind of lofted that out there. He's got to really drive that pass in there a lot stronger. That's going to bring up 4th down. Probably going to be punting. I like the aggressiveness on the passes. We just didn't drive into either one of those near as strongly as we could have. The one on 3rd down, he was looking the shorter route, and then when he changed his mind in the back one, he just didn't get the hard pass in there. Dangerous returner back here for Kewanee.
There's the snap, and it's a pretty good one. Now they're going to finally going to kick it away, looking to fake punt it a little bit. Oh, and the ball's on the ground and going to get recovered by the Panthers. Number 10 trying to make a play for the ages, and goes right through his hands and met immediately by a Panther defender and then picked up by the Panthers.
Yeah, great coverage by EP. What they were able to do was 2 guys got down there, and when the ball bounced out of Crow's hands, the one, I didn't get the number of him, but I think it was number 5, Braden Frank, was able to push him out of the way and allow his teammate there to go in there and get that recovery. Great break. That's why you just got to hustle on every play like that. What else are you going to do? Just run down there. You get 2 guys that are able to make a play. If there's only 1 guy down there, there might have been a wrestling match for it.
It was all started by Keegan faking the run to the outside and giving himself an option to either punt it away or run for the first down, and opted to kick it. So All right, big break for the Panthers. Going to pitch it out here to Tristan. He's got some running room. Got Nosker in front of him. Did a nice job of letting Nosker get out in front of him, and then trips up by himself and comes up short of the end zone.
He really did. And he had an open spot to the corner of the goal line there, but tripped. Still take the gain as it was for a first down. Where are they marking it? Right at about the 6, it looks like.
I love what Tristan did right there, where he actually could have got out in front of Nosker. Instead decided to let Derek get out in front of him and serve as a lead blocker and tucked in behind him. Unfortunately, lost his balance. But that was absolutely the right decision by Tristan and would have been a touchdown had he not lost his footing. First and goal for the Panthers, 6:43 to go here in the third quarter. And they're going to try that same play, and Tristan avoids the first contact but then gets brought down about the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, no yardage there. It's going to bring us over to the right-hand side of the field, wide side to the left. Wouldn't be surprised if we see some Connor Keegan or Evan Steinley action to the wide side of the field here on second down and goal from the 6. 6:20 to go in the third quarter. EP up 16-6. We'll try and repeat the scores and the times as much as we can. Maybe you might be able to see the clock on the video now, but there may be a time in the future when we have a score bug on there. We'll see how that works, though.
Yeah, and if you're watching the stream, you're seeing that, it's 16-6. We don't have the time up on the banner, and I'll tell you why here in just a second. All right, shotgun formation. Keegan's going to look to take this himself. He's got an opening. He's going to bounce it out to the outside. He's going to walk himself into the end zone. Great blocking. Touchdown, Panthers.
That was a nice setup there. Did the handoff, and then Graydon Church sealed off the inside for him, and very common scene early in the season. Kewanee guys down with a cramp.
Great blocking by 2 or 3 different Panthers, including Church. Tristan Hovey had a nice lead block there, I believe, as well. And Keegan basically went into that end zone untouched.
He certainly did. Really nice to have the wide side of the field, or take advantage of the wide side of the field on that play, too.
So there's a timeout on the field. We'd normally step away for commercial break, but we're not quite there yet with the broadcast. So we're going to keep it right here. 5:47 to go here in the third. Panthers up 22-6, pending an extra point or 2. Nice bounce back after that 94-yard run by the Boilermakers to start that third quarter for them offensively.
Right. I mean, it was just one little play. That's something you always fear when you play a Kewanee team, because they always seem to have so much speed. Wouldn't have thought that their fullback was the guy that was going to outrun our entire defense. But, that may, just looking at how that play transpired, that may be the one weak link on this team is a breakaway speed. It's not going to be a slow team, but they're just not going to have the game-breaking speed because nobody was able to keep up. I mean, Derek Nosker was the closest one. And but, we have a lot of guys in Steinley and Connor Keegan and Winkler, Hovey. They're all very, very athletic. They just don't have that breakaway speed to score a 90-yard gain, perhaps.
Scott, you mentioned scores earlier today. I believe Hall fell yesterday in their opening game, didn't they?
Yeah, 40-21 to Orion.
And we're going to be traveling to Hall next weekend, and certainly love to see a big crowd drive down to Spring Valley area and catch a football game. But if not, we'll be doing this same thing down there, hoping that the internet is solid down there. We'll be able to bring you a good stream.
Yeah, internet and just access to a good location to do our job will be difficult on the road.
All right, there's the extra point snap. It's good, and the kick is up and wide to the right. Hold on 1 minute. We got a false start against the Panthers, and that'll be a pre-snap penalty, I believe.
False start against the offense.
They're not saying that's a pre-snap penalty, and therefore the extra point is no good. So 22-6 remains your score with 5:47 to go in the third quarter.
Yeah, that wasn't a very good attempt for Steinley on that one. Went way off to the right. All of his other kicks have been with a lot of height. That one must just squirted off to the right. Kind of reminiscent of sometimes you get a high lofted wedge on, like, say, hole 9. Something like that happens once in a while.
All right, I'm going to run down the roster real quick for the Panthers while we got just a minute. So you've heard some of these names already. Keegan Winkler is number 1. He's our starting quarterback. Connor Keegan, Max Milam, Braden Frank. Number 6 is Connor Johnson. Heard number 7, Gavin Adams' name quite a bit already today, as well as Graydon Church, number 8. Jaden Temple, Sawyer Schwartz, Evan Steinley, Carter Hadaway, Blaine Decker, Tristan Hovey, Evan Melton, Adam Pyron, Noah Wetzel, Carson Irick, James Lopez, Jordan Crow, Derek Nosker, Hayden DeVore, Brecken Sandrock, Jace Howard, Mason Minson, Jermaine Koshavar, Alex Ottens, Nathaniel Hinton, John Holland, Caleb Reamer, Jason Wells, and rounding it out is Keegan Cole. Looks like we got a handful of sophomores up on the roster this year, so a good mix of seasoned veterans leading the way, and Keegan Winkler, Connor Keegan, and some guys that have been around the block a little bit, Tristan Hovey, and then some newcomers. So good to see the balance.
A couple of the sophomores have contributed already, and John Holland and Minson.
Evans set to kick off with 5:47 to go here in the third. And a low line drive kick that's going to bounce and get fielded cleanly at the 10-yard line by number 10. And he's got a nice return coming up, and he's going to be out near the 40-yard line, brought down by Evan Steinley.
Yeah, I would like us to try and do a directional kick away from their number 1 threats if we can. It's a lot to ask for a kicker to do, but definitely something to keep in mind. You don't want there to be able to break another long one, and that guy definitely has the ability to do it. It's like about 5:40 left in this third quarter. 22-6 is the score.
First down and 10 for the Boilermakers. Up under center, 3 backs in the backfield for them. They're going to pitch the ball and try to come out. Power football left side, and a nice run. Going to pick up 7, maybe 8 yards on that play.
Yeah, Emma Steinman did a good job of setting the edge on the right side, but we didn't have much pursuit, and Crow for Kewanee was able to cut inside of that for the 8-yard gain.
What little success that the Boilermakers have had has been power running, where they've got a couple of lead blockers out of the backfield.
For sure, and that's what they have right now with number 30, Ace, and Crow back there.
No receivers. Going to hand the ball off, second line guy through, and tripped up by number 70. I believe that's Holland.
Yeah, Holland tripped him up. Nosker, I think, finished with the tackle there. Basically no gain, maybe a foot. Bring up 3rd and 2.
Ball still inside of Kewanee's territory at the 46-yard line. Clock ticking, 4:44 to go here in the third. Panthers holding on to a 22-6 lead.
Wouldn't be surprised if Kewanee, they feel like they have a little bit more momentum in this half than they did in the second half. I wouldn't be surprised if they don't make it here. They'd be 4-down territory. Let's hope we can get a stop and find that out.
Slots both sides with a single back. Going to hand the ball right up the middle. And short game, but it looks like it's going to be enough for a first down.
It's going to be up to the measurement. The way the far judge is lined up, he's going to call it a first down.
Gavin Adams on the stop.
They're eyeing it. You know, something we didn't see a lot of. They've done a lot less of bringing the chains out. They just try and decide it on the field. But it looks in this case like they are going to call a timeout.
Well, the crowd on the field may be deceiving, because it sure does look to me like it should be a first down.
It does. The white hat's going to come over and make his determination. He goes first down. Looks like the right call. It's basically right in front of us. You're looking right down the line at it. The officials are conferring with each other, like, why did you make the call? I was like, well, I didn't want to make it, so they.
So we've had a couple of mentions about some things that we'd like to do here, having some more additional information with clock and that sort of thing. We have the capabilities of doing that with the programs that we have. What we need is a person to be able to do that. So if you have an interest and want to come help us in the booth each week, reach out. Let us know. Nosker with a big sack as the quarterback was rolling out to the right. Big play by the Panther defense.
Yep, Nosker got his second wind after that long sprint a couple plays ago on the long run, and was able to catch Isaiah Ince from behind, knock him down for a huge loss. Going to bring up second and about 23 or so. Great play by Derek.
Just didn't give up, had backside pursuit for Nosker, and just ran him down. And that's going to bring up second, and scoreboard says 21. Ball placed at the 37-yard line of the Boilermakers. 10 to go here in the third quarter. Shotgun looking to throw the football, rolls out, and he's going to just loft one down, and that's up for grabs and intercepted by Graydon Church. And he's on the move and inside Boilermaker territory. Big pick there.
Yeah, they had a different quarterback in on that. That was number 17, Lane Taylor, that threw that pass. The intended receiver was their running back, 30, Ace, and he fell down on the play, and Graydon was able to get in there and make the interception, and a nice return out of it as well.
And what was really nice to see there defensively, too, was Graydon was there to make the interception. But even if he had to take a chance and a gamble to go at that interception, we still had another defensive back right there to make the tackle if the receiver had made the play. So good job by the defensive coordinator, Coach Whitebread.
There you go.
All right, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Going to look to throw the football and going to try to air it out. Got Connor Keegan down the sideline, and Connor out-jumps his defender, and it's going to be a completion down to the 20-yard line.
That was a heck of a pass. I was watching Keegan Winkler on that play. He never even had a chance to see it after he let it go. One of the defensive linemen rushing in on him grabbed him by the back of the helmet and almost kind of ripped it off of him. So great throw and catch resulted in a long first down. Stops the clock. Well, now the clock gets going as the chains get set. 2:45 and counting in the third quarter here. EP up 22-6, trying to tack on some more points.
It's nice when you got somebody on the outside that you can trust to win those jump balls, and Connor Keegan is that guy for us this year. 2 receivers split wide left, 3 to the right. Keegan Winkler in the backfield all by himself. Typically means a run right up the middle, and that's what he's doing, and very little going there for him.
No, there was nothing on that one. You knew what the play was, and it almost looked like Kewanee did as well.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd down and 10 for
And
the
you really,
Panthers.
coaching staff-wise, is there something that they're going to try to set up in weeks 2, 3, 4? Maybe this is a setup for a
Right.
Newman game down the way where it looks like, this is Winkler going up the middle, and maybe it's a bubble screen that they quickly throw and end up breaking it for a big run.
Right.
I know the coaching staff is thinking like that, so excited to see what's coming. Clock running with 1:30 to go here in the third quarter. Keegan again all by himself in the backfield, 3, same formation as last time, and the Panthers are going to burn a timeout. So with 1:29 to go, your Panthers are going to take their first timeout.
I guess there was a little confusion on that. It looked like the players all knew what they were doing because they were communicating with each other, but I don't think they were lined up in just the right spot, so the coach had to call a timeout and wants to get reset. We have a 2nd 10 situation, so we don't want to move it back. This is a great opportunity to go down and lengthen this lead. The 1:30 to go in the third quarter.
What's been fun to watch this year is, and hearing the coaching staff is talk about it, is these guys have spent a ton of time in the weight room, spent a ton of time 7-on-7 football, all the things we don't get to see that the kids are putting the time and the effort into getting themselves better to play football. But as Scott and I, who play a lot of golf in Erie, got to see, these guys also spent a lot of time just hanging out. There were so many nights where we'd see 5, 6, 7 guys out there in a couple of golf carts playing golf with each other and just enjoying the camaraderie and just being friends, which was fun to watch.
Yeah, it just makes the core group bond really well together. They know what they're all going to do. I think we kind of saw that on the touchdown pass from Winkler to Keegan, where they just kind of knew where each one was going to be. It's almost like they've thrown it from one guy's backyard to the other in the pass.
All right, both teams back on the field. Keegan getting his last-minute instructions from Coach Abbott, the offensive coordinator, and going into the huddle to pass that along. And we'll see what the Panthers want to do coming out of this timeout.
Similar formation.
Connor in motion, and they're going to do a little jet sweep to the right side, and Connor gets dragged down from behind. In the past, that would be a horse collar, but evidently that's not a case.
Yeah, we're going to get a block in the back is going to be the call against EP to start things off with that play. I don't know how that isn't a horse collar. The official on this side is standing there with the flag in his hand. Now he's dropping it. That's a very interesting. It might be the latest flag I've ever seen dropped. So there's going to be a discussion. He sat there and held it for a while.
All right. So in the end, it was the right play, the right call. So it's going to be an offsetting penalty. When it's all said and done, we're going to play that down again.
Yeah, I mean, everybody saw what the play was. Maybe he just couldn't process it in his head quick enough. And they're still discussing it down here.
We got some rumblings in the crowd.
Yeah.
So offset is going to be the call. We're going to replay third down, and it's 3rd and 13.
Brings up second down for the Panthers.
Second down and 13 or 14 for the Panthers. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. They're going to pitch it out here to the short side of the field and gets swallowed up very quickly by a couple of Kewanee players, including big number 52.
Yeah, there was nothing going on there. We had 3 guys already lined up on the right side. We brought a guy in motion, and just Kewanee swarmed to the ball. That would have been a good time for a little misdirection because they really swarmed to the ball on that one a lot. I'm still laughing about that play. I have never seen a flag thrown that late in the process. It was the right call. I'm sure if you're from Kewanee, it feels bad because the officials right over here getting chirped in by our coaching staff and the bleachers.
Oh, we got another Kewanee player down. Didn't see that over here. He's got another cramp. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a tough position to be in.
But you want to make when it's all said and done, you still want the right call to be made, and that's what it was. It was a clear horse collar. Kewanee coach is not understanding the call. He's coming out trying to get an explanation on it. Probably won't be anything to his satisfaction, but we're working on the Kewanee guys' cramp. Looks like there's 1:11 on the third quarter. EP up 22-6. So when we resume play, it'll be 3rd and 19 from our own 30.
2 plays to get 19 yards. That's how our offense is needing to look at that.
Right. You definitely don't need to go for it all at once. It's gonna be a 4-down territory situation. Wouldn't even be the worst thing to go on 2. What problem is we do a lot of plays where we send guys in motion, and it's hard to have a count there to draw anybody off sides when you do that because it's all timing. Noted that the guy that they are taking off the field with cramp is number 30, Ace. He's one of the main players for Kewanee, so he will be out for at least this play. Sophomore, he had the long 94-yard touchdown run early in this half.
Yeah, I'm looking at his last name, and I'm with you. I think Ace is good enough.
Yeah.
LaFollette, maybe. All right, 3rd down. Plays resuming here. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. Looking to throw the football. Going to look right down the field. Just going to loft one up for Gavin Adams. And no flag on the play. And that looked like that was contact before the ball got there, but incomplete.
Yeah, the pass was a little bit over his head. The same official that we were talking about before ran down there with his hand on his pocket as if he was going to throw it. Kind of thought about it. That's a fine. That's a 50-50 play on that.
The back judge also had the opportunity to throw that flag. He was in the area and had a good look at it and decided not to as well. So 4th down. That was an all-or-nothing play there. Coach Abbott.
They weren't going. Yeah, they weren't going with our earlier talk of didn't need to get it all at once.
I'll stick with my day job. 2 receivers split each way for the Panthers. Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. Shotgun. And looking to throw the football. Going to air it out again. He's got a man on a post route, and he gets tripped inadvertently.
Oh.
And no penalty. I think that Connor was probably going to camp underneath that and catch it.
Yeah, I think they're just calling that was incidental contact or maybe uncatchable, but Connor did a great job. I actually was watching him on that play, and he busted off the line of scrimmage on the snap on that. And I would not have been disappointed in seeing a flag on that play. It was basically 2 50-50s that both went against us on that. That just shouldn't happen.
Trying to pick up the replay on that, but YouTube's not letting me back that up. So as it stands, that's going to be a turnover on downs for the Panther offense. And the Boilermakers take over 1st and 10, 44 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And looking to air the football out a little bit. Go! And did Evan Steinley ever read that? And fortunately for the Boilermaker quarterback, he sailed that pass a little bit.
Yeah,
otherwise Evan had a pick six.
It was almost like Evan was already running into the end zone before he let the ball get to him, and he kind of got past it. Kewanee has a different quarterback in right now than what they started the game with. They had been number 2, Isaiah Ince had been the quarterback, and now it's a sophomore, Lane Taylor.
So as it stands, it goes as a completion, and trying to see who that was that brought him down. That was Graydon Church that ended up bringing him down, but that was a gain of 5 on that play. A lot could have gone wrong for the Boilermakers there had Evan been able to get his hands on that thing. And that brings the third quarter to an end. Your Panthers on top, 22-6.
Boilermakers 6.
So like I mentioned, next week we're going to travel to Hall. Before that, that's we've done in years past with IHSA football. Friday nights are reserved for varsity football. In this case, it's Saturday because of what happened last night. Mondays are the Fresh Softs' turn to play, and they're going to play at the opposite field against the same opponent. So in this case, Monday night, the Fresh Soft Panthers will be traveling to Kewanee and playing them there. If you get a chance and looking for something to do, go check them out, see what the sophomores are.
What time are those
to.
Games?
Well, you had to ask that.
Oh, I guess I thought maybe you had said that. I was giving you a softball.
Yeah, well, it turned into a hit by pitch because I don't have that time. I think it's 6 o'clock, but we'll see if we can find that for you and pass that along. We talked about the Erie High School football field and it being ready for varsity football potentially by week 4, which is great. I hadn't given it much thought, but week by week is important for the sophomores because while we're traveling away for the varsity, the sophomores will be playing home games. So when the bleachers are finished in Erie, the sophomores have the potential to play an Erie home game as early as week 3.
Right.
And so we'll play that by ear. We'll get that word out as best we can, as soon as we can to you all. And I'm sure that Erie and Prophetstown Facebook pages, websites, that obviously they'll keep everybody posted as well.
They'll get those bleachers up pretty quickly. They need all the wiring that needs to be done. As could be a sticking point in the timeline.
All right, fourth quarter, ready to get underway. Receivers, 3 of them split wide right for Kewanee, and they're going to throw a ball out here to the right flat in a bubble screen type of play, and that falls incomplete.
Yeah, the new backup quarterback for Kewanee doesn't quite have the arm, and if they're going to keep putting the ball up in the air, I think we have a good chance to jump a route here or two and maybe get a pick 6.
Is he a junior? No, he's only a sophomore.
He's a sophomore.
Not a very big guy. 5'7", 130 pounds.
No offense, Lane.
2 receivers split both ways for the Boilermakers. And scrambling a little bit, rolling out right, looking for a guy to be open, and he does find Crow right in the middle of the field, and Connor Keen's going to have to make a shoestring tackle inside Panther territory. Nice play by the Boilermakers.
Yeah, he did save a touchdown on that. He comes up grabbing his arm a little bit.
Connor's got a shoulder. Looks like it might be out a little bit. And certainly hope that that's nothing too serious.
There's going to be a timeout on the field. Connor is coming off with an apparent injury.
Hopefully just got a stinger there. We'll keep an eye on it and keep you posted. All right, shotgun formation. Looks like the Boilermakers are just going to look to throw the football this fourth quarter. And he's going to keep it himself, scramble around the right side. He's got a little bit of opening, and he's inside the 30-yard line down to about the 28.
Real nice job by Gavin Adams getting that. Also nice to see Connor actually moving his arm around. He certainly wouldn't be able to do that if it was popped out. So he came off the field with it hanging kind of low. That was a scary sight. The Kewanee with the backup quarterback in there has gone shotgun on the last two drives.
Same formation, a couple of receivers split each way. Got a back in the backfield to help protect the quarterback. There's the snap, It's a good one, looking to throw the football right down the middle of the field. Got a flag in the interior. Looks to probably be an offensive hold. We'll have to see. That ball falls incomplete.
Yeah, I don't see how that could be anything else but that. The pass was behind them, behind the intended receiver. It was a 2nd and 4 is what that penalty was. So most certainly, I would think we'll accept this penalty, moving back 10 yards.
Holding is the call. That'll back them up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And, boy, was I just wasn't very thorough with my my checking on what's going on, because next week, if you think about it, Monday's Labor Day.
Yeah.
We're not going to play on Labor Day.
Okay.
So we're going to play it on Tuesday, and games are at 5:30.
Okay.
And we got a guy in Destin, Florida that bailed me out on that. Thank you, Dan. All right, shotgun formation again, looking to throw the football. Going to go left just a little bit. He's just playing a little background football or backyard football. Evan Steinley with good coverage there. Ball falls incomplete.
Right. It kind of looks like what his the new quarterback is just trying to buy time and move guys around. Steinley did a great job on getting over there. Connor Keegan is back out on the field, moving his arm around pretty good. So you had high hopes when you said it was just a stinger. It didn't look that way when he walked off the field. He was hanging pretty low, but certainly the way he's moving around, it's not worst case scenario.
3rd and 14 for the Boilermakers. And got pressure right up the middle by number 54, and quarterback scrambling for his life, and Evan Steinley meets him and brings him down for a sack.
Yeah, you got to feel for the quarterback in that situation. He had Steinley, Reamer, and
Hayden DeVore was on the
DeVore
freshman.
was in on that. He had no good options. Ended up taking the brunt of the play from Steinley and going down for a call it a sack. 4th and about 20. Clock running here. EP up 22-6. Be just over 10 minutes to go.
Panthers with a couple of really strong plays here. We got the fortunate holding call against the offensive line,
Right.
and then a good pressure play there, resulting in a sack by Evan. Big play for the Panther defense here. Another good pressure there, and going to just throw the ball up, and it's going to get picked off by Connor Keegan, and he's got all kinds of room to run it back, and he's going to run it out of bounds at about the 47-yard line of the Panthers. Yeah, either way, that was going to be a turnover on downs or a pick, and it ended up being a pick for Connor.
Yeah, the quarterback got another high-low situation there. He got clobbered when he released it. Connor was just back there playing defense. Make the arm feel a little bit better after that play.
Max a little slow to get up. Certainly hopeful that it won't be, but it's probably not going to be the last time we see Max get up slow, right? Just the nature of that injury is just
Right.
takes him a minute to knock the cobwebs off and get back up and get at it again.
Try to decide how hurt are you and if you can get back in. And he walked all the way over to the numbers. I guess rebounded enough in his head and walked back out to the huddle and is going to be on the field for this play.
All right, Panthers on offense. A couple of backs in the backfield. Going to hand it off to Max right up the gut. Short game.
Number 4, Max Miler,
About 1 yard to go there. We run the clock under 10 minutes after this play. EP up 22-6.
Gain of about 2 on the play brings up second
Trying to
down
see
and
if we
8
got
for
any
the
more
Panthers.
comments to talk through. And the sun is bright. Can't hardly see the screen.
It is. The one nice thing about having the game today is we didn't have to stare into the sun. Of course, there wasn't much sun with all the clouds and lightning last night, but that's always a disadvantage of a lot of the fields that we end up going to is the first half we're being blinded by the setting sun.
Our camera guy, Darren, says he can't wait for night games. It's tough to film up there. All right, Evan Steinley in motion from right to left. Leaves trips on this side. They're going to pitch it out to Tristan. He's got some running room right up the left sideline and tries to keep it in bounds and gets her down to about the 35-yard line. Nice first down run a run resulting in a first down for Tristan.
Really nice lead block out there by number 8, Graydon Church. He kind of had his hands outside the numbers a little bit, but he kept driving his feet the whole way, so the official gave him the benefit of the doubt on that. But that's really what gave him the room out there to spring that run. And after the change gets set, the clock is running, and it'll be under 9 minutes when we get this ball snapped. EP up 22-6.
Just looking at that huddle, how nice it's got to be to have a guy that's an entire helmet taller than everybody else on there. And an offensive line for you. All right, Tristan Hovey right up the middle, working his way through some defenders. Another nice run, going to be up near another first down.
Slipping a couple arm tackles there. Going to be just short, which is just fine. We'll keep the clock running.
8:47 to go here in the fourth quarter at Mosier Field in Prophetstown. Right now, your Panthers in control, 22-6, and on the move.
The game seems well in hand right now, even though it is 22-6. That's one thing you start thinking about is everybody staying healthy and hydrated, no cramps or small injuries here at the end.
Tristan in the backfield with Keegan. Trips to the right. Going to hand it off to Tristan again. Does a nice job of winning that first tackle, but met then with a couple of Boilermakers there for very little gain.
Yep.
Might get the first down out of it.
Similar plays to the last one, but Kewanee rallied to the ball a lot better. They're looking at it. From this spot, it looks like a first down. See if these guys can decide without the head official coming over.
No, they're gonna say he was short by a foot, and we're up third down.
Just as well, we can keep the clock running some more.
7:50 to go.
Yeah, this is the time of the game when you're trying to manage the clock. When we play at those few fields that actually have the play clock, what an advantage that is. You can just see exactly how much time you have to get out of the huddle and get the play. All we can do is look at the back judge, and when he puts his hands and start counting, there's 5 seconds left.
Two backs in the backfield with Keegan this time. And they're going to hand it off to Max. Look for that first down, and he's going to have enough.
He got that hit and swallowed by at number 72, Kanan Griffin. 6'2", 275.
Signal on the field is a first down.
First down for the Panthers. Max doing a nice job just getting his head down and knowing what he needed and getting it.
He started this possession by getting help to get off the field, and he's had 2 or 3 carries already in this same drive. He comes off now, Steinley in there. We haven't called Steinley's number in a while. Wouldn't be surprised if he comes on the field with a play to him.
We're being asked if we're going to call the fresh soft games, and as of right now, the answer to that is no. We will not be calling the fresh soft games. Not to say that we won't maybe bounce in and grab one of them. Keegan Winkler with a run, and looks like we're going to get a penalty here in the backfield. Likely a hold.
I would assume. It didn't look like there was a hold on that play, but that's what the call is going to be. Holding penalties in high school are just brutal because they're spot fouls.
And this one happened 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
At least. So that'll be a large penalty. Going to bring up second and about 16. Well,
they marked it from the end of the play. What in the world?
They changed the rules on us?
I don't know.
Brings up first down and 20 for the Panthers.
They marked it from the original line of scrimmage. So, yeah, I'll do a little research this week.
Okay. It's week 1 for the announcers, too. We didn't get the memo on all the rule changes.
Regardless of what we think, the ruling is that it's first and 20. Hunter Keegan in motion. They're going to pitch it to him. Try to get around this right end. He's got a little bit of running room. He's up past the original line of scrimmage, still on his feet, up past the first down marker inside the 10.
He did a great job. He wasn't setting up the block, but he looked just like Tristan Hovey did on that run before where he could have gone outside, but he set up the defender by turning inside, had the speed to go outside and get all of that penalty yardage back, plus the line to gain. Now they're going to say he stepped out.
15 on the play, brings up second down and
stepped out 5 yards before the first down. Boy, I didn't hear any whistle or anything.
I didn't either.
Interesting. All right, that's okay. Second and 5, 6:23 to go here in the game.
Just stop the clock when he goes out of bounds.
Panthers playing a little ground and pound right now, burning some clock.
I don't know what the delay is right here. There's no reason to stay in the huddle with the clock stopped. One of the officials is talking to the Kewanee player. Now he's walking over to talk to the official. They're going to call a timeout and have the water break. One of the officials was talking to one of the Kewanee players about something. And now he's over talking to the coach about it. So I don't know exactly what this is all about.
A water timeout for both teams.
Maybe one of the players said, "I need a break." And they said, "Well, It's not uncommon early in the season on a Saturday game to have a mandatory water break.
Right.
We haven't seen one at all in this game. It's an interesting time for that to be enforced.
Agreed. We have had a couple of cramps, all by the Boilermakers.
But we had a couple games, I think, previous years where, like, it was unbelievably hot, and it was a mandatory halfway through. It was just going to be a stop and take a break. That hasn't been the case for this game, but that is the result of the stoppage right now. EP is going to come back out about 2nd and 5. Is that 6:23 or 5:20? Looks like
6:23 to go in the game, and a
Goalposts.
reminder that near the conclusion of this game, we'll be picking the Scots Player of the Game. It's going to be a tough decision today. We've got several kids out there that have played well today. 3 receivers split wide left. They're going to pitch the ball to Tristan out left. He cuts it up quick. Ooh, nice play by the Boilermaker defender to come off of Connor Keegan's block.
Yeah, number 40, Eli Dennison, another sophomore for Kewanee. Boy, looking at their roster, they are loaded with sophomores. They've only got a handful of seniors on the team.
They do have an injury on the field, not a cramp this time. Definitely an injury for Kewanee.
Kewanee player. This is where we really miss having the commercials.
And he's holding his ankle. Certainly hope that he's all right.
So the game reset's going to be 3rd and 4 from the Kewanee 17. EP would likely be in 4-down territory in this situation. It'd be a pretty long field goal into the wind and at a really difficult angle with the ball at the right hash.
Sure. Looking at the crowd, and pretty good crowd on hand today. Had a big crowd here last night as the weather was setting in, and as the lightning started to hit, the school was asking them to leave the stands for safety reasons, and people went to their cars and eventually left.
Yeah, if we would have tried to play last night, we would have had to wait till close to a 9 o'clock start time with the amount of lightning we had. So it was the right call to postpone it till today.
All right, 3rd and 4, ball on the 17-yard line. Panthers could really use a first down here. They're going to hand off on a little cross misdirection play to Connor Keegan, and he slips between a couple of tackles and gets it inside the 10 for a first down.
Yeah, nice play and good blocking out there by Graydon Church to spring that run. Little crossbuck action, as you said, and looks like they're going to tack on a unsportsmanlike to Kewanee.
Not uncommon late in the game where you get some tempers flowing, especially when the temperatures are up.
Right. I didn't see the play where it happened from.
That's a half the distance to the goal, so that'll take them down to the 3-yard line or so. Actually, it looks like the 4, where your Panthers will have 1st and goal, 5:52.
1st and goal, Panthers from the Kewanee 4-yard line.
Sun's working its way around the field, and now it's starting to shine in the booth, and getting quite a bit warmer in here.
Somehow or another, I don't think Darren feels sorry for us being up on the rooftop right now doing all that filming up there. All right, short side of the field to the left. Got 3 receivers over here to the left. A single receiver, Gavin Adams, out to the right. Keegan's going to keep it himself, try to scud around the outside, and he does just get into the corner of the end zone for a touchdown. That's Keegan Winkler for a score for the Panthers.
Really nice lead block by Max Milam, and then Connor Johnson was out there, number 6 for EP. That's a name I don't remember calling too much from last year. He's a senior, though, and he's been involved in a few plays blocking. Opened up a good hole for Keegan to get that touchdown. Mr. Orman was just nailing that that Panther noise after the touchdown.
We like to have our fun with Mr. Orman. Scott and I get a chance to play a lot of golf with that guy. Good time. All right, Evan Steinley set to kick the extra point, up 28-6. Good snap. Max has got it. Kick is up. Better kick this time. And right through the uprights.
Yeah, when he gets good leverage into it, there's no doubt on the length for sure, and he has great height. He's not real quick to the ball. If we play a team that gets off the edge a little bit quicker, he's going to have to watch that. But he's got the length to go 30 yards, I would say, at this point. It's going to be 29-6 is the score with 5.5 to go in the fourth quarter as EP gets ready to kick off. They will, more likely Steinley will be kicking off again. Yeah, he is going out there. I think he's done all of the kicking the last 2 years for EP.
He has. And with 5:29 up, 29-6, might get a look at some players that haven't got a chance to play a lot yet in this game.
Set to kick off for the Panthers, Evan Steinley. Back deep, Lane Taylor, Ace LaFollette.
Ace LaFollette. That's how Mr. Orman's pronouncing it anyway. I think I like Ace.
Yep. He is the deep returner. Number 10, Crow, is not out there at this point, so their fast weapon is not going to be a threat on this kickoff.
Wind's picking up just a little bit, and it'll be right into Evan's face. And here's the kick, and it's a low liner. And on one bounce, he's going to pick it up at about the 12-yard line. And come straight up the field. He's going to bounce it out to the left side. Got a little bit of running room. Nice return there. Going to be up near the 40, where he's brought down by number 31.
Number 31's Adam Pryor, and number 13, Sawyer Schwartz, was the first one down there to make him change directions. He did a good job bouncing that outside. Going to be under 5:15 on the clock right here, 29-6 EP. Been a real dominating game. You know, the stats, they just had that 194-yard touchdown run. That was really the only movement they've had. I'd be interested to see what the first down totals will be in this game.
And we likely will not get end of the game stats tonight or today just because of what's going on. All right, a little screen pass to number 30. Nice play there by the Kewanee offense, and they're going to be up near the first down and near midfield.
Yeah, he was able to get right between Hayden DeVore and Jordan Crow on that. Derek Nosker was in on the stop. Going to be second short right in front of us here at midfield.
Some of the starters coming off the field now. Caleb Nosker off. Jordan Crow, Evan Steinley checking out of the game. James Lopez in. Try to get you a couple of names there. And want to catch a couple names that are out there, Scott?
Well, we had one of the names that you mentioned that came out was not supposed to come out. So that only left us with 10 men on the field.
That usually doesn't fare well for us.
No. We got 58, Jace Howard in there. 69, Nathan Hinton are two new ones. 31, Aiden Adden. A-D-A-N, Adden. Aiden Pryor. Thought Aiden had a Y. So most of the starters are able to come off the field. When we get done with this timeout, it'll be 2nd and 1 for Kewanee with 4:37 to go in the game. EP up 29-6. Number 44, James Lopez. He's one that we could see contribute as the season goes along. The sophomore, 5'7", 215.
All right, play getting back underway here with 4.5 minutes to go. Shotgun formation, looking to throw the football. Little screen play out there to the left, just like they ran just previously. But little floater there falls incomplete.
Yeah, that was back into the starting quarterback position. He's the one that started the game. He's back in now to make that pass attempt. Going to bring up 3rd and short. Evan does check off the field this time.
Brings up 3rd down and short for Kewanee.
Guys look pretty beat as they're coming off and taking their helmets off. Put in a day's work. They'll throw the ball to the right side. Oh, just about picked off, but able to get completed. And a little bit of gang tackling there. Finally brought down
Yeah, 17 Carter Hadaway did a really nice job of getting his hands around him to slow him down enough for everybody else to rally to that, because if he'd have slipped out of that tackle, he'd have been gone. 44 James Lopez came over and finished that run. We need to get everybody back on the other side of the ball.
Finally did. And looking to throw the football out to the left and a little swing pass. And there's already a flag on the field, so likely not enough men on the line of scrimmage. We'll have to see.
That would be my guess. I'm not exactly sure if Kewanee even has 11 guys on the field right now.
Yeah. Preliminary call is false start or illegal procedure on the Boilermakers, and that'll back them up 5.
As Braden Frank comes off the field. Nice to see him contribute. He had a little bit of an injury a year ago, and very athletic kid at 5'7", 175. He's going to be a big contributor.
Brings up 1st and 15 for the Boilermakers.
Also a kid that we saw a lot on the golf course this year, so good to see him on the football field. All right, looking to throw the football again. Good pursuit by the Panthers. Finally is able to dump it off, and out the outstretched hands of number 30 for the Boilermakers falls incomplete.
67, Alex Ottens, a junior lineman, was on pursuit on that. Unfortunately, that incomplete pass stops the clock. We would like to just be able to keep the clock running.
4:02 to go here in the game. Panthers in control, 29-6. Back to throw the football once again, and going to scramble and slides down at the 45 rather than taking a big hit by a Panther defender.
Can't say I don't blame him on that. Going to bring up 3rd and 11.
That'll keep the clock ticking. 3:40 to go. Boilermakers in a hurry-up offense. Trips out to the left. Looking to throw across the middle. Got a man open. Up, down, up near the first down marker. Going to be just short.
Doing up downs?
Up downs. Yep. Boy, those will make you puke.
Yeah. Especially on a day like today.
Yeah.
Here's my so 4th and short. Obvious 4th down territory here. 29-6. EP is up. 3 minutes to go.
Fourth down. Looking to pass football right across the middle, and it's caught. And he's got enough for the first down, down to the Panther 30-yard line, where that'll move the chains.
Yeah, that's Connor Johnson was able to rally to the ball on that, make the stop. James Lopez hustling back behind the line of scrimmage, I think it was.
Gonna throw the ball out here to the flat, number 17, and good pursuit to the football. And a nice tackle there. 88 wrapped him up, finished off by number 6.
Keegan Cole was in there first, and Connor Johnson was able to make the stop on that. Kewanee going a little no huddle here. I don't know who they play next week. I can look that up for you.
All right, another pass out here to the left side, and met immediately by Connor Johnson after a completed pass for a gain of 5.
Yeah, Connor Johnson's been around the ball on almost every play since the touchdown down there where he made the nice block. He's very active on the defensive side as well.
Scott and I putting the finishing touches on our Scott's player of the game. We'll announce that here in just a minute. Another throwing football out here to the right flat, and that falls incomplete. Intended receiver was number 3 for Kewanee.
Yeah, they're going shotgun now, and Ince had a hard time getting the ball, and he was spinning it around his hand trying to find the laces. Sometimes those guys in the NFL, their hands are so big they can just throw it without the laces.
Sure.
I can't even imagine.
And one thing, I wanted to mention this today, but I didn't want to jinx him. Brecken Sandrock did a heck of a job today snapping the football. He's a sophomore. First game, he's got to have some jitters. Outstanding job of center quarterback exchange all day long. So kudos to Brecken on his first game as varsity center.
That's for sure. Brandon Johnson continues to make this a personal highlight reel, or Connor Johnson, I mean, as he makes another tackle on that, holding them just short of the first down. Going to be 4th and about 1 with 1:43. Oh, that was 4th down, excuse me.
So your Panthers will take over and likely just put a knee on it in victory formation and finish this thing off.
They're going out there with the starting offense. I would think they should be able to do that. Kewanee would have no reason to want to extend this game. They will go to they will be home against Riverdale next week, who was victorious in week 1 with a 20-0 win over Mendota.
That'll be a good game next week for both of those squads. Riverdale with a chance to go 2-0 after having just a couple of really poor seasons. Came on fairly strong last year. And Keegan Winkler's going to keep this himself and right up the gut, going to get up to about the 26-yard line. So gain of 6. They're going to mark him down to the 25.
We did not go with the victory formation. Cranking out a few more yards. We unanimous on the decision there?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and shout that out?
Yeah, I think we're going to go. We only have one trophy, so we have to really define our search. We're going to go with Connor Keegan as the Scott's player of the game, MVP of the week, excuse me. And, he had the touchdown reception, 2 touchdown receptions.
No, 2 INTs.
2 interceptions, a touchdown reception. He had the great punt return. He had the stop there that kept them from having another touchdown on the play when he kind of hurt his shoulder and then came back. His presence out there was known. He's looking forward to having a really good year from him, and I think he's very deserving of our MVP of week 1.
Congratulations, Connor Keegan.
First and 10 Panthers.
And it was a tough one to call today because we had a number of guys that played really well. Caleb Reamer, solid job on the offensive line. We mentioned Brecken just a couple of minutes ago about how good he was, even though you don't hear his name. You didn't hear his name, which was a great thing. Of course, you had John Holland in the middle of that defensive line plugging everything up. Derek Nosker had a really good game defensively for us. A couple of big hits.
Yep. Yeah, we almost take Nosker and Reamer for granted because they've been varsity for so long now, it seems like, and they're just 2 of the bigger guys out there. But
and, of course, Keegan Winkler had a solid game.
He had an outstanding game. He had one little goal right here in front of us where he had 2 passes that were a little bit short there in the third quarter. That was it. Besides that, he was putting it right on the money. Him and Connor Keegan were in lockstep on a couple of their plays. Keegan ran the ball very well, guided the offense, kept everybody in good flow of the game. And it is something you say about the center. We're never going to hardly mention them unless they make a crazy outstanding block or they have a bad snap, and we just never had any of that.
And kudos to the coaching staff. They had these guys ready to go today. This is a very well-balanced team. It's, years past we've had that one go-to guy, and it does not look like we're going to have that this year. It looks like we're going to be balanced, and I think that's, from a coaching staff perspective, that's really nice because it's hard to scout and it's hard to lay on a key player if you're an opposing team, right?
Yep, that is for sure. There's going to be a lot of people that can contribute and probably some guys that didn't even have big games today that we'll be able to see do that throughout. Looks like Kewanee is just going to let this that will be the last play on that victory formation. Kneel down. Evan Stanley going over and shaking everybody's hands.
We had a couple of miscues penalty-wise. We had that early face mask where Reamer just reached his hand out, inadvertent. You can't hardly get it past that. Had a block in the back that cost us a touchdown return.
Right.
That hurt a little bit. But outside of that, we didn't have any false starts. I thought we played pretty solid fundamental football.
Yeah, not a lot of the points where the coach is going to go back in the game film and say these are things we need to correct. I'm sure there'll be some missed blocks and things like that, a couple arm tackles, but for the most part, a lot of everything that they did was up and up and great for week 1, and just keep that momentum going as we go through the season, as we get ready to travel to Hull next week.
So the Panthers take care of business here at home at Prophetstown. Come up on a good side of a scoreboard of 29-6 over the Kewanee Boilermakers for the second year in a row, at least the second year in a row. I guess I don't remember further back than that. Panthers are going to start off 1-0. We're going to travel, like Scott said, to Hull next week, who took a loss in week 1. Look to go down there and take care of business like we did today and build on what we got going on early in the season. Any final comments?
It was a great start. We had a lot of uncertainty coming in. We definitely had more expectations than last year, and I think our hopes were met in this game. We controlled most of the game. Just the 194-yard touchdown run from them. We do have a little bit more expectation this year than we did last year, and winning in this fashion makes us feel good about the remaining games of the season.
Agreed. 100% agreed. Hey, with that, we're going to wrap it up for today. Hope you enjoyed the broadcast. We will be live from Hall next Friday night. We'll come on the air about 10 minutes to 7 or so, bring you live action between EP and Hall, and hopefully bring you another victory down there. And until then, y'all be safe. God bless. Take care.
Did you get the cable that fell out down?
Yeah.
The audio cable?
Right here.
I will just take that computer home. I'll bring it. I'll drop it off tomorrow. We'll be out there.
Say again?
The computer?
I'm taking it or you're
No,
taking it?
I'll take it.
You're going to be in here tomorrow.
I'll be in here and I'll drop it off.
Okay, I won't be home, so just
We were supposed to